Or did not want to accept the win as it was. So here we are. The redo begins now. We start. Ooh, Laz, where are we? Death Mountain?
Death, and it's at least not inverted.
Well, that is good news here. And the first run wasn't inverted either, so pretty good setup for the overworld for both of these two. But let's see how things go. I've seen some Gurias in the overworld. That could cause a little bit of trouble just because when you only have 3 hearts, 3 boomerangs in your deck.
Well, 2 things I want to point out. One, for these runners' sake, let's hope it's not a 4-hour massacre like the one we had the other night. And second, that medium secret is not good. It's 27 rupees. The small secret's not bad, though, at 12.
Laz, it can't be like a 2040 like we've had before.
I know.
So,
we're due. We're due.
Oh, the white sword, which is bombs in this case, is your white sword, or rather your almost item here. It is going to help them with some exploration here, as you're going to see immediately Fred and then also Maligord come and get this, what is the potion shop just southeast of 6.
Cheap price for the magical shield at 79 rupees. This is not a big money seed, though. I don't see either of these runners making that purchase.
Well, here's the thing also, with the fact that right now we do have what we have in the overworld. Oh, we get level 2, and we're starting in what looks to maybe be the moon shape. Yeah, this looks like the moon shape here. We could be in First Quest 2.
Yeah, this definitely is shaping up to be a first quest.
Wait a second,
that means...
though. Those staffos are throwing swords, so we're going to have second quest mechanics somewhere.
Well, of course we do have second quest enemies, because that's going to be a thing in these bracket stages. They are going to be shooting those swords at you, so... We'll see if we are dealing with a full-blown first quest set of dungeons, or if we're dealing with 1 through 6 first, 7 through 9 second.
Ooh. Well, Maligord takes a death, but Fred also does an up and A. And so both of these guys get thrown back to start. Looks like Fred's up and A just was a little bit faster than Maligord's death.
Yeah, we see some rupees here for Fred, and there's no drop this time around. And yeah, looking at that, that is definitely first quest level 2.
So what are we looking for in 1 Quest 2?
We're looking for an item that is going to be on the ground. Now, it may just be there right for the taking, or you may need to full clear room like this triple bar room here, and there's a free Triforce.
Yeah, Fred wants to find where that floor drop is at this point, so he's not going to grab it. Neither is Maligord. And so we're going to continue the search right now. Maligord's going to have to be careful. Gets hit by the sword, he's down and out for the count. There's Fred grabbing the map, and that gives him the confirmation that we already knew, and he probably already knew at this point, but it's further confirmation that you are in level 2, First Quest 2.
Absolutely. So the thing with level 2 is you can bomb in any direction unless it's guarded by an old man, or if this was a thing, a corridor staircase.
The important thing about finding out that this is for 1Q2 is that you're now looking for a floor drop. Maligord is going to be the first of these 2 to head up to these 2 rooms to the north, and ladder is the item in 2.
Well, talk about a free level 2 here, Rick. We have the Triforce and ladder easily accessible without a single hit of the bombs. That's amazing.
Yep, so Fred's going to want to make sure that he preserves the bomb. He knows that there are those 2 rooms to the north. He can't pirouette his way or fake it where he goes and out of the dungeon in order to open up that bomb wall. He's going to have to use a bomb in order to get to that room. There he is. He's going to grab that Triforce. Now he's going to go back in. He's going to take those 2 rooms to the north and be able to grab that ladder. Now, given where these 2 runners are, right next to the grave.
Fred's not going back.
Oh, Fred isn't. Oh, my goodness. I was going to
Wow.
say, given where we are, it would make great sense to do what is the world wrap and find out what your item on the coast is.
Well, that gravestone doesn't push in Vanilla Magical Sword. Neither does that one. So neither of our gravestones push this time around.
So I would not be surprised if Maligord ends up doing a world wrap here to find out what that item is on the coast, because that's a free item now.
Absolutely here. So Maligord is going to make an attempt. Hopefully he doesn't mess this up and go back to the maze. But these gorillas are having a word with him. Fred misses it, though.
Oh, nice bomb there for Maligord. That was beautiful right there. Gets the clip. And what is this item? That's the power bracelet. Not exactly what you want to see for a free item 5 minutes in, but for exploration purposes, it's still a great item to have.
And Maligord now finding the letter in that cave. So if he shows that to the potion shop merchants, we can find out prices of potion. Oh, hey, level 1.
Yeah, look what Fred finds. Level 1. There are going to be 2 items in level 1, one underneath the stairs, the other one being a floor drop, and maybe Fred finds something nice in here. He does find a key door that he's going to have to use, and then another key door that, well, he's going to have to decide whether or not he wants to spend those 2 bombs to clear out those gels. He decides not to.
Unfortunately, that is the nature of First Quest level 1, Rick, is it tends to be key blocked in several directions. So unless you have a boatload of keys going into level 1, and unless the RNG rolls right, chances are you're probably going to be ladder blocked out of 1. That's the case for Fred.
Maligord finding the first of our take any's here at the almost southeast of level 2. No extra candles are turned on, so you can't get a candle out of this. In fact, the blue candle will be available where you're supposed to get the wooden sword at some point in some open cave. There's the second of the take eddies.
Back-to-back take any caves for Maligord. He picks up the heart container both times. So now he has a 2 in 3 chance of picking up whatever the white sword item is if he can find it.
Well, Fred ends up taking a bop, but he does get inside of the cave to find out it is a door repair charge. Maligord gambles plus 17. And also just a note for our tracker, who is Jiggly Saint running in the background, we do have Triforce out of level 2 for both of these runners.
I love that Moxie on Maligord there, Rick. He's playing the money-making game, and he wins. Nice job. Ooh, look at the price of that cheap bait. It is not cheap at all. We have a markup of more than 20%.
There's the candle for Maligord.
Nice find there. So an extra weapon there. That's definitely going to help Maligord do some more exploration, both in the overworlds and in dungeon.
The only problem is that so far it looks like just blue Octoroks and the red Gorillas are the only ones we're going to see that could possibly drop bombs. Now, he was able to kill off a gorilla with the bomb earlier than Maligord. So we'll have to see how that comes into play a little bit later on. But right now, Maligord does have a 2 in 3 chance to gain the white sword if he finds it. Now make it a guarantee.
Finding this third bonus cave, Maligord will get another heart container. And yep, as you said, because we have shuffled the heart value of the white sword item between 4 and 6 hearts, Maligord, if he finds it, is guaranteed that item.
Fred finding the any roads right now. And the any roads, they're not really bad. Yeah, there's one of the hint shots right there. Maligord's going to go ahead and mark that down for future reference. As Fred continues to explore, he knows that that candle is going to be in an open cave. The only problem is it's on the other side of Hyrule, and the recorder is the white sword item.
Ooh, that's very nice for Maligord.
2 great exploration items already on the table for Maligord. The only thing that he's missing is the raft, and that only unlocks 2 locations. So Maligord's going to get a very good idea of where all the dungeons are relatively early if he gets some bombs. And ooh, those blue Octoroks, they rolled high.
They rolled 4 HP. And remember that enemies are shuffled anywhere between plus or minus 2 of their base value. So they could have been 0 HP, but unfortunately 4 HP. But by the way, also keep in mind that there are 2 sets of blue Octoroks and red Octoroks. You have the slow moving and the fast moving, and they're in different categories.
Looks like Maligord was trying to set himself up for a screen scroll here. Just continue to try to be patient here as he works his way around, does pull it off. Fred trying to do the dance of the blue darkness, and that's not a fun dance to have.
No, it's not, Rick, because you lose 2 hearts every time you get bopped by the blue dark nuts, and they can be very beefy, as we find another small secret for Maligord. Tried to burn the burn bush in vanilla level 8 spot, and he came up empty there.
And there's the magical sword bomb upgrade. Now, Maligord should have at that point knew that it wasn't going to be, because we got the bombs, or not the bomb upgrade, but just the bombs. And we did see the bombs as the Armos item, but he's still searching for that white sword item.
Right, yours. Fred finds a door per penalty. It's 19 today, so he's down to just 8 rupees. Now, the second quest to Burnbush did unlock, and we find a very expensive magical shield. That is 1 rupee below the max.
Fred just around the corner from where he's going to be able to pick up his candle. So, right now, Maligord, if he finds a level underneath one of these rock spots, that's going to give him an early advantage, given the fact that Fred noped out that level too early. Maligord may want to think, and he's going to do it. I was going to say, he may want to think about getting his life replenished at this fairy fountain before he goes any further. You don't want to take a death, given where the start screen was.
Absolutely not, Rick. That's a lot of distance to cover for Maligord. Yeah, that was a smart move there, because he would have been killed right there by those Octoroks. He finds a potion shop. Now, he had the letter, but he's not going to show it off just now. Fred's going to find a Take Any Cave coming up, but first he'll find this medium secret. He'll find that Take Any Cave north right here, and I would imagine he will pick up the heart container to enhance his chances of getting that breadstick.
Well, knowing that the recorder there, and there is a level underneath the rock. It's level 4.
So power bracelets required. That means ladder is required. No ladderless seed tonight.
If you remember, Fred did pull off a ladderless seed the last go around.
Yeah, that's right. So level 4 here does contain 1 item, and it's going to be behind a staircase. Guaranteed behind a staircase, because first quest level 4 has no transport staircases.
And most of the walls, with the few exceptions, are connected. There's only just a handful of walls. In fact, I think only 2 of them that do not connect with each other.
Those blue keys rolled high, 2 HP. They do not go down in a single candle shot. So another one that rolled +2, because they also normally have 0.
Okay, well, Maligord's going to have to up and A in this room here. He doesn't have the firepower, nor does he want to really spend all of his bombs. But we'll pick up that heart container. Good find there from Maligord. Puts him at 7 as Fred continues his exploration through the forest areas that we've already seen the Maligord explore. But Fred, with the knowledge about that recorder, and I wouldn't be surprised if he starts making his way towards the recorder after getting the 6 heart and completing the full area exploration here. Maligord hoping that this was going to be the staircase. That is no.
You didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you?
Yes.
Oh, speaking of not being easy, you need that ladder to get into the Chevy room, and Maligord's got it.
Let's be honest here, Laz. You needed to have the ladder to get into this level in the first place.
Right, you are.
So this dungeon has all rights to pull no punches at this point.
Yep, indeed. And Maligord trying to get through because he wants to bomb south.
Yeah. And here's the problem now. He's got these staffos throwing the swords, and they do 2 hearts damage if he gets bought by them. If I was Maligord at this point, what I would try to do is to set myself up on the south end of the room and do a double clip, because it's less likely that the staffos are going to be shooting at you there. As you see what ended up happening, he tried doing it in the long part of the platform where the staffos could throw their swords. Dead.
Yep, and the keys finished him off right there, so he's going to have to go back to start and try it again.
Now, let's just remind people that are joining in here that that clip is never going to be required. So there is a workaround to that spot of that level. And it's going to be through the room down here to the bottom left. I don't know if there was a key needed, yet there was a key needed for it.
Yep, so Maligord had to have to take the long way here. And unfortunately, again, with those keys being rolled up to 2 HP, it's not going to be easy, an easy time for Maligord to clear this room, but he's going to go for it.
Just to answer the question from chat, level 2 turned out to be at 1Q6. Both runners had access to that level. Fred just opting to grab the Triforce, not going to the rooms to the north that you needed a bomb to get into. Maligord did. That's why he has the ladder at this point. Fred finding the magical sword bombs, and he too tries to grab them, although you can't do that.
Muscle memory, and it looks like that the Stalfos rolled normal HP, so that's a good news for Maligord, because once he clears this room, because it's got bubbles in it, as long as he stays in level 4, that room is locked. He won't have to do this room again.
Yep, there we go. He gets that taken care of, so at least now he doesn't have to worry about that room. He was hoping perhaps that there was going to be a drop in that room. It turns out no in this case.
Yep, so Maligord's going to, let's see if he grabs the Triforce this time, or once again decides to try and clip for the bonus enemy.
He's going to try to do this again, and again, this is a case where you can see, and you can see what I'm talking about, Laws. It's just a case where you're on the long part of the platform, and that gives Stalfos a lot of room to tee up their shots and shoot right at you.
Yeah, they don't fire very often. I think their firing solutions happen in the same intervals as the orange Lionels. But yeah, you really got to be careful. Because, it's about time we have a poverty seed.
You know that big money seed that we had the last go around? Well, it ain't going to happen this time around, as 53 is the top secret. At another level that quickly has a big ladder block early on as Maligord goes and explores level 6.
Yep, people were wondering if I had lost my touch on being on the commentary for Poverty Seeds. Well, not only did you get your wish, this is what I like to call a deluxe Poverty Seed.
What makes it a deluxe Poverty Seed?
It's really, really bad. Like, the medium is well below the medium, well below the mean, which is 32.5. And then you have a large secret that's in the 50s. That's a deluxe Poverty Seed.
So Maligord is going to go ahead, leave that room, and now here's a reverse C room that he may also want to give some thought to as well. And Fred popping into what is World 6 on his end, because he's got that little thing turned on. Maligord trying to get these Stalfos taken care of. He's trying to preserve his bombs, which is a good thing to do here. And you're going to see Maligord try to kill off this Tektite here before going any further, so at least that way he doesn't have to worry about anything else. So I think he tried to get a double KO there. Didn't work out quite to his way, but he did clear out the room. Get bopped by a red bubble, get bopped by another red bubble, and that is the book.
Nice. So those hints that we saw earlier, Maligord can now buy those hints. If he saves his game right now, which I thought he was going to do for a moment.
So we've seen the hint shop over at the letter spot, which is on the northeast side of the map here. Maligord wants to continue exploring the 6 to see if he can't find an early Triforce. Now, Fred, in this world 6, remember, he doesn't have a ladder. And I don't know if the ladder was required to get to the item here. And he's going to try to kill off this last remaining Stalfos, so that was close.
Ooh, man. Close call.
And so that reverse C turns out to be the transport staircase.
Ooh, so whether or not that is required to get into the Triforce, that remains to be seen at this point.
Well, there is the compass, so we're going to get some information about this.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks like Fred is closer to the Triforce than Maligord is at this point in time.
Yes, indeedy. So we know where the Triforce.
Trying to be careful, make sure he doesn't get bopped. He's down to a half of a heart, and he wants to get hit with that blue bubble so he can get his controls back to normal, but unfortunately, an enemy hits him first.
Yep, the good old Tektite just tackled him, and he'll go back to the 25-yard line.
So Maligord here, back in this room here, he wanted to get hit with the blue bubble. He wants his controls back to normal as opposed to inverted. And so he'll continue to explore this 6, try to make his way to the Triforce room. He's already seen the item, so he's got very little reason to try to do anything but make his way towards the Triforce at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
By the way, that book is indeed ladder blocked, at least on that side. Maligord's able to bomb in. So now we have to take care of 3 2 HP keys and 2 HP Staffos in order to get this Triforce.
Yeah, that is just absolutely brutal. This has become a beefy boy seed. We've seen a lot of things rolled up, and so far I haven't seen anything rolled down yet. How about you, Rick?
Well, I just want you to roll up your sleeves. We could be in for an interesting seed depending on how long this goes without a 1.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Maligord's in the room he needs to be in, but it is quite a mess. More bubbles, more Lionel Beam shooting Stalfos, and more beefed up Keys.
By the way, it does look like the Staffos may be your communal enemy here, as they've worked together with the Wizrobes in level 2, and they're here together once again in level 6.
Well, Maligord's hoping that they are not the dominant enemy in this room, and I think they are.
At least, though, if Maligord takes a death, he's got the room down to 3, and if he takes a death, then it returns to be that way. And he takes a beam right to the head. He's going to have to go back to start. And there's Fred. He will get the Triforce at least to expose itself. Oh, I'm glad that room did not shut a door behind Fred. That would have been an up a day. And while that room would have been saved with the Triforce on the floor, at least it would have been more of an inconvenience than anything else. Fred's got the Triforce out of 6. Triforce is out of 2 and 6 for Fred.
Boy, nice dodging of those Lionel beams there, only getting bopped once by the Stalfos to keep most of his health there. That was a brutal screen.
Well, that is a recorder theme, Fred.
What do you think that tune is? So, contestants. Oh, a clock drop from Maligord! But he can't do anything about it.
Yeah, when you only have a candle and 2 bombs to your name, that's much you can do about it. The recorder theme this seed is going to be the Song of Storms from Ocarina of Time. Oh, missed on the bomb.
Oh, swing and a miss. That means Maligord's going to have to use the candle to take down that last Stalfos if he wants that Triforce piece.
And he gets it.
Got him.
With the book in his arsenal, he is going to leave and get on out of this level 6. But he does know where there are a few other places where he can go are level 4, but he wants to have some keys, and we'll see if he ends up buying some along the way here. There's a key for 105. He chooses not to purchase one there. Fred continuing to explore right now. So we've seen where levels 1, 2, 4, and 6 are so far. We have no clue about what second quest or first quest will be for levels 7, 8, or 9 at this point.
Man, I must say, Rick, so far this has been a resource-starved seed. Neither runner has keys. Blue Ring is 237, which is not bad, but we're not going to see that play made because of this being a deluxe poverty seed. As Maligord gets his recorder, so both of our runners now have that item. I'm telling you, I think we could be in for a long one here, just because a big reason is the resource thing.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Fred found level 3. Level 3 could have something in here. Is kind of a dungeon that you'd like to find with the resources that Fred has. I mean, no keys can still be a problem. But the good thing about level 3 is that if you find a bomb wall, or rather if you find a solid wall, or rather a wall separating what's supposed to be 2 rooms, you can bomb.
Yep, you're right about that. So, level 3 having the one item behind a staircase, and yeah, more Lionel beam throwing enemies. This time the real deal with the Lionels. Nice use of the bombs, though, to take care of this room.
Oh, nice find here for Fred. It's the item at level 3. The item is going to be a heart container. Well, I guess we found an item.
It's probably not the item that Fred was hoping for, but he'll gladly pick it up, and that'll take him up to 8 hearts. Maligord getting a bomb drop from those gorillas there.
I think that may have actually been a lucky bomb drop there for Maligord, or there that where he may have forced, but either way, it was a good
Ooh.
result for him.
Those gorillas are squishy, 1 HP.
You know, if you're going to have enemies in the overworld dropping bombs, you would like to have them be 0 HP. Now, Fred's going to try to tackle this room, and I'm thinking he's trying to build up his count so he can get some bombs off these guys coming up before he clears it, because this is a room drop.
No, Zols did not roll down. If they would have rolled down, they would have been destroyed by a candle shot, because they normally have, it's 2 HP, because a white sword can stab them down. So they did not roll down.
We have getting Fred hit there, so he's back to 0 on the account. There's now back up to 2. And to answer the question in chat, have we seen levels 7, 8, or 9 yet? No, we have not. World 3 for Fred is the 5th level that we've seen so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6.
Maligord's now into level 1, but bad news for him is he will not be able to do any exploration because he's got no keys and does not have the bow and arrow to take down the Pole's voice.
Alright, let's see how Fred does this. He wants to be able to get a bomb drop off a Zal. I think he wanted to try also to be careful in the fact that he didn't want to go a little too deep and end up getting a fairy by accident. So, looks like he wants to get another drop coming up here real soon as Maligord ends up doing the dance to the Darknuts, getting inside. Getting 27 rupees for his effort.
Very nicely done there for Maligord. Yep, that was a potential recorder spot. It didn't bring a level, but it did get him some cash. That is not a bombable spot this time, so that is second quest mechanics. Remember, we are dealing with a mixed overworld, so some spots that are bombable in first quest, not so in second quest. You never know until you try it, though.
Nice double kill there for Fred as he continues on and tries to figure out what's going on with this level 3. There's a bomb drop on the floor, which, you know, unfortunately it's only going to be +1, but you're still going to take them. And we find level 9, and we are towards the right-hand side of that level 9, but I think we're more towards the middle than the right.
So what does that tell us?
Interesting. Well, that could be a 2Q9.
If that's the quest, that you know what that means, right? The Spirals of Doom.
Well, stay tuned. We'll give you more information once we get more ideas about what's going on in levels 7 and 8. Maligord's going to go ahead and he wants to take care of the 2 recorder spots in the grave area. The first one here being where you do your world wrap. Gonna have to be careful with the gorillas when he does this. He will try to tackle them. They're nice and squishy like that. Actually, he is setting up for a world wrap once again because he wants to go to the other side. I'm surprised he isn't recording this spot here to at least try to see if this is a location.
I'm also surprised at that as well because there very well could be a level here. You never know. That is definitely a recorder spot, so we'll see if it comes back into play, Rick.
So, Maligord, I know where he's wanting to check.
Well, look at this. Fred getting a clock in this magical breakfast room of great proportions here. And unfortunately, no drop.
Nothing. Wow. Now, what I thought Maligord was going to do is he was going to check the forest recorder spot, but that turns out not to be the case, as Fred wanted to get back into that room to make sure there was no wall masters, because that's never fun when you end up finding that information out. We find level 5 out on the coast.
All right, so that's 1 through 6 and 9 we have found so far, so that means just 7 and 8 remain.
And I'm surprised that Maligord did not opt to do an up and A immediately upon coming in. He just decided to do one now, and therefore he's going to get himself back up to 3 hearts.
Yep, and an NSU room.
Level 5 is a nice place to get some keys lost.
Yeah, that's right. Level 5. I know Second Quest 2 is another nice place to get a lot of keys. So yeah, those are definitely 2 Keyvalanche levels when you think about that in terms of randomizer. But Fred taking a death in level 3, so back to start he goes. We'll see if he decides to continue, and he will.
By the way, you know that room that he was just trying to play around with the Zolls to get
come on,
some...
old man. What a hint. Yeah, Maligord, you did the right thing there. He deserves to be burned.
But you know that room that Fred was in earlier that had the Zolls?
Yep.
The staircase room that had the heart container?
That's
That
right.
is the Triforce room.
Oh, wow, so Fred's got a decent chance here.
Yeah, I think at this point he's probably feeling a little iffy about he should have had that earlier. Yeah, there's the Triforce pickup for Fred. Maligord finding a transport staircase in this level 5. 30 minutes in. This is quite a opposite seed of what we saw from these 2 last go round. How about this, Laz?
Yeah, the money has been completely the opposite. The levels have been completely opposite, because weren't we dealing with full-blown second quest last time?
Yes, we were. Maligord has found the item in 5. The item! It's the Silver Arrow!
Excellent find there from Maligord. That is 1/3 of the puzzle pieces necessary to defeat the beast there. He's looking for the bow and the wand, because this is all boards, no swords. You have to have all 8 Triforce pieces, and you also have to have the wand to defeat Ganon.
There is the 4th and final of the take entities at level 5 or 1Q5, so location. So Maligord, or rather Fred, has decided to take the potion, which is a good decision for later.
Yeah, it's absolutely the correct play, especially in all boards, no swords, since we're not dealing with the magical sword. Here's 8.
Level 8, and look at this. This is 2Q8. We have second quest 789.
Oh boy, you know what that means. It's time now, once again, for 35 rooms of pure stairways to hell, trying to find the items and getting lost in level 8.
We get ourselves a red bubble room. It does have a push block. It does move, and it's probably a staircase. It is number 1 of about 8,253.
Yep, that sounds about right, too. It feels like about 8,253 staircases.
Ooh.
But in actual... Oh, no! Wizrobe's in 8! Come on, game. That's rude.
I think that's perfectly fine.
It's perfectly normal, but it's still perfectly rude. Here's what we know about level 8. There are 5 sets of transport staircases, 2 one-way staircases, and then the 2 item staircases. That's a grand total of 14 rooms of staircases, just like its vanilla level 9 Quest 1 counterpart.
Fred playing the dance of the orange Wizrobes.
Yeah, but those Wizrobes are being very timid. They are going away from him.
They keep setting themselves up on this right side of the room. There we go. Oh, they are higher than 4 HP, Laz.
Oh, man. Another beefy boy enemy. I mean, there's only a few enemies that didn't get the invite to the Chef Boyardee party, but these enemies rolled up high tonight. That is a push.
Is able to push the block. He gets the item. It is a permanent weapon in the red candle. That's not going to help you against Wizrobes, but at least it's a permanent weapon.
That is a great find for Fred, because with the blue candle, you can only fire it once on the screen you're on. You want to use it again, gotta go to another screen. Red candle, you can use it indefinitely, but keep in mind, only 2 shots on the screen at one time.
Looks like Maligord is figuring something out about this level 5. This could be a long road to get to where he wants to go, too.
Well, level 5, in the actual game, of course, is segmented, because you have that little section that has the Olive Garden, or the Room of Requirement, as the old school people might like to call it. So, yeah, this looks like a natural level 5, just the segments are in different spots.
So Fred finds where the Triforce in this level 8 is going to be. It's only 2 rooms down from where the compass is. But unfortunately, can't get that from here.
Nah. Not as easy as it looks because level 8, it's probably one of those magical staircase situations, and Fred's hoping that blue wizard room is not required.
Well, that blue wizard room is where he came out of the first staircase, so he knows that that's not required. There is a penalty right there, and Maligord comes on the other side, sees a key door, does not clear out the keys, and it's kind of hard to take out those keys at this point, just because of the fact that they are 2 HP.
Maligord deciding to spend, what did he spend? Was it the heart or the bomb? In any event, it's tough to see a mugger room here in level 5. He gave up one of his max bombs. That means he's down to just 7 max bombs, Rick. Boy, I tell you what, I hope for Maligord's sake that there's not a room that's got like 6 blue dart nuts guarding a wand like that 4-hour shenanigans the other night.
Well, Laws, we know that can't be the truth here in this seed.
And why is that?
Because the Dark Nuts are on the overworld.
Well, thank God for that. Let's hope there's no 6 blue Wizrobes then.
There, you now got the point, and you got the correct statement.
All right, good. Fred checking the vanilla white sword spot here, and burns down the Gurias, gets a couple of hearts back, but leaves one behind. We have some money. It's a small secret. He's at 202.
Yeah, he left it behind because at this point it's an up and 8 scenario here.
Which makes sense, as Maligord does get the Triforce out of level 5. That is his 3rd Triforce. We have a tie score in that department. Pretty close race between these two right now.
Yeah, Maligord would love to get a key avalanche at this point, but you may have to actually spend money to get to those keys. We do see an arrow shop. Bombs are 10 rupees, arrows are 63, but obviously Maligord doesn't need to worry about the arrows. He got the silvers.
Yeah, cheap arrows, cheap bombs, cheap medium-priced shields. So, yeah, that's the cheap store right there. So, yeah, definitely some great price bombs there. Rookie would approve of those. And considering this is a poverty seed, I think these runners would approve too.
Considering the fact that this is a swordless seed, as all the case in this tournament are, these runners would have definitely approved. So we're still looking for level 7. It's the only level that we have outstanding at this point.
Yep, Fred checking the recorder spot in Recorder Lake's 2nd quest, but comes up empty.
Maligord returns to level 1, or rather level 4. It's time for him to try to see how he can tackle against our dear friends, the tea room, which is what caught him over and over the last few times. We get the hint that Gliok returns along the river. Maligord hasn't seen that level 8 yet.
Yeah, and Maligord's going to have a much better chance with 6 bombs and 7 hearts. So we'll see if he's able to clear that room and try to get the item here out of level 4. Because that level 4 item, I mean, if it's the wand, he could be sitting pretty here, Rick.
Yeah, he's still setting up for this strategy, unfortunately. And as I've mentioned before, it's not a great strategy to have, especially if you're not a lack attack type of clipper here, which Maligord here having a lot of trouble trying to get it through. And he doesn't want to use those bombs. He wants to save them for actual execution. But unfortunately, he's one sword beam away from taking a death. And
he got
through, but he's got to stay alive, though. There he goes.
And this is a push, and this is a possible room.
He can't do anything. He's key blocked.
Oh, all that work, and the game decides to troll him anyway. That is rude. Does take down one of the Stalfos, though, but he's still down to just 1 heart, and he could get picked off by that other Stalfos that's hanging on the side railing here. And look at that Stalfos just eagle-eyeing Maligord, but he does.
At least the good thing is that with the Stalfos on the other side of the island there, he wasn't going to be able to pick him off with the sword beam at that point. He would have to get off that island and onto where he needs to go for the Triforce in order to have something happen there, but he blocked away from being able to get one of the items in level 4. We'll see what happens with Maligord a little bit later on. At what point do you start thinking about maybe making a purchase at a store to get a key?
Boy, that's a tough one, Rick. Considering that this is a deluxe poverty seed and keys are expensive, you may see situations where a runner is going to purchase a key, save their game, they'll go to a dungeon and use that key. And if that key is fruitless, they're going to retry and use that key elsewhere. But no matter which way you slice it, Rick, this has definitely been a key starve seed, and the fact that it's a deluxe poverty seed doesn't help matters at all.
Well, Maligord gets into level 8. He's going to get a rude awakening in regards to what's in there soon. Fred getting the silver arrows out of 5.
Yep, so now he has 1/3 of the puzzle pieces needed to kill Ganon, but he's down to half a heart. He's got to be careful here. Nailed it. Nice shot. Now, if Maligord makes the right decision, he's going to get that red candle.
In order to get the red candle, he's got to go to the room to the right of these blue wizrobes. He may attempt to kill off this room here, which would give him the information about the Triforce being 2 rooms to the south, but he's not going to be able to clear that room with a single blue candle. The blue wizrobes not come up.
Yeah, that almost looked intentional because he didn't really make much of an effort to move there. So I'm guessing that's an intentional death and he wants to just reset himself and make another try. Or just get out of level 8 completely.
Well, I'm wondering if Maligord's plan here is to go to the room to the right. Oh, and he's going to check this while he's up here too. And he's going to get a potion shop. No letter has been found yet. He's going to go to the north, and that is going to get him his chance to take either a heart or a potion.
I thought Maligord had the letter in his possession. Maybe I'm wrong about that, because I thought he was going to show off that letter.
You are right, he does. So he has opted not to show it just yet. So we'll see what he does here. Whether or not he takes the potion or the heart. That's why he's not buying the potion.
Yeah, and it makes sense. It's the final take any K for Maligord. You know the magical sword's not in play. When it's the last bonus game... Oh, and he used it! I think that was an accident!
No, he used this on purpose. He wants to go and unlock that door in 8. And he didn't want to take a death to the blue dark nuts. So that was purpose.
Okay. And remember, he still has the letters, and he's got enough money to buy more potions if he chooses to do so.
About to get a rude awakening about these wizrobes. 1 bomb remains. He's got to get them set up so they can actually all go down with this final bomb. He got it.
Nice shot.
Oh, out of bombs, but there it is for Maligord. And that will send him on over to another section of this level 8.
Fred now going back to the start here and trying to figure out what he's going to do next. He's going to use the recorder, and that will take him near vanilla start.
Oh, by the way, also he was in reverse controls at that point, so using the potion puts him back on normal.
Yep, good point there, Rick. So, oh, look at this room. That's not fun.
You're in a wizrobe dungeon. Is there such a thing as fun?
Yes, there is such a thing as fun. It's a room that doesn't have 8 blue wizrobes guarding a certain item that we need. Like that!
Well, how
okay,
about
it's not
5?
8.
How about 5 blocking the bombs?
That's not fun.
Oh, there's a clock right there that Maligord, if he had some bombs in his arsenal, would love to have, but it's not going to be the case. Now, this can't be a push block to unveil a staircase because of that shutter door.
That's right. So, Fred doing some screen scrolling here to get to vanilla level 3's location, and he's back into level 1. This time with 3 keys in hand.
Yeah, 3 keys, which means that he has a very good chance of getting at least 1 item out of here. And if one of those items is the wand, then you can consider Fred to be in a more favorable position. He still has to get that ladder out of level 2, but at least he's moving himself closer towards being able to beat this seed.
There's a heart container. Whether or not that No, that is not the... We've already seen the heart container. That was in another level.
Yeah, that's correct. It was in level 3.
So that is not our item. We're looking for an item that's on the ground, and we're looking for an item that's behind a staircase here in First Quest 1. 2 Aquametis rooms in a row.
Ooh, Maligord taking a death. And now that is a very unfortunate death because those orange whiz robes will respawn. He's going to find that out right now.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy about that.
And he did not get the bombs in time. The death happened just before he was able to touch those bombs.
Yep, it was a swipe tag, a close play at the plate, and the umpire ruled him out.
Unfortunately, we don't have instant replay, and all calls go to the house.
Yep, that's right. All calls are final. No argument with these umpires. No, sir. Now Maligord will go to the right, and I believe this is where the red candle was, but again, no bombs.
Yep. Maligord may just have to cut his losses in this dungeon at this point, go somewhere else until he's able to get the arsenal. Now remember, Maligord does know where there's a bomb shop. It's on the south part of Hyrule. Needing to be careful here to make sure he doesn't get bumped off against the Gorilla and gets bananaed. Well, here's the staircase for Fred.
That is right, Rick. Let's find out what our first item in level 1 is going to be as he does a nice candle clip to get through and take down those Zols. What do we have here? Ooh! Jewelry! Oh, that red ring. Such a sweet find for Fred. That is going to increase his defense. The damage now down to 1/4 of the base value. That's a great find for Fred.
Yeah, at this point, he can tank a whole lot more. These Lionels still dangerous, but less dangerous than they were about 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, that's right, because normally those Lionel sword beams do 2 hearts of damage. With the red ring, they only do half a heart of damage, and their bodies only do 1/4 heart.
And in this room here, it's the same story, you know. Now you have a whole lot of ability to kill these guys. Maligord passing up another key shop, getting a whole bunch of bombs as Fred. Sees a whole bunch on the floor, but this is not a room drop.
Nope, so he'll go ahead and pick up his bombs here. Still looking for the item that's on the ground. Maybe this Zol room has got it.
Yeah, this may very well be the room. There's Maligord buying a key. I knew this was going to happen at some point. He knows he's key blocked at least in 2 dungeons at this point. He's got to do something in order to at least be able to move around in some of these seeds. Now, that being said, Fred might find something soon, like an any key, that will really set the seed off.
Or more importantly, the wand. I mean, if he finds the wand, or the bow for that matter, because remember, he's got the silver arrows as well. If it's either one of those 2 items, Fred could start turning on the afterburners here.
And just remember, the major thing about Fred at this point is that he still needs to get back into 2. It's not going to be one of his first destinations at this point. It will be once he gets a little more firepower. This room right here. This could be the room drop. In fact, I think at this point it almost has to be.
Yeah, we'll find out. And it's a key!
No, just a key on the floor.
I wonder if that Pole's voice room, is that a drop room?
No, the Pole's voice at the very beginning had a 5 rupee drop.
Okay, so that's not it. Maligord checking the desert spots here to see if he can find level 7 or something else, but they produce nada. Fred taking down these blue Lionels here, just has 1 to go, and nothing.
Yeah, he had already cleared it out. I think he may have forgotten that he had. So it's behind a key door. Is this the key door? This very well could be. Oh! Well, we're down to 2 more rooms, I guess, and let's hope it's not in that room.
Yep.
Okay, so we know that the Triforce is in the bottom right room. So it's either in that Gliok room or it's going to be in this room to the bottom right of where Fred is now. You know what Fred wants.
He's hoping it's not in the Gliok room. That's what he's hoping.
It's in the Gliok room.
Oh, so that tells us one thing, Rick. The wand is not in 9.
Well, it
is
could
it?
Still be a 9.
Oh yeah, that's right. If the Triforce was behind Gliok, then wand could still be a 9. But what if the bow
check this
was
room
behind
yet?
Gliok?
Wait a second. Did he? Oh yeah, he did. Yeah. Well, we know that the wand cannot be in level 1. Fred not even bothering to check the Triforce room at this point because he knows, well, that Gliok, he's got the item. Now we're taking a death, unfortunately.
Yeah, getting bopped by the blue dart nuts just north of Vanilla Start, so back to start he goes at Death Mountain. Fred has 250 rupees. That's enough to buy a blue ring, but you know what? You don't need no stinking blue ring. He's got the red ring.
Maligord, are you going back into level 4? No, you're not. Let's see where Maligord ends up going to next. Looks like he wants to get back to that score that he took at the Deathon to the blue darknut. So right now, Fred has a huge advantage in the fact that he has that red ring that will help protect him here against these enemies. Overworld's got some nasty enemies. Wizrobe's not being out here is nice and all, but it's still a kind of a vicious enemy set.
Yeah, that is one thing you're going to see throughout this entire tournament is that we have unchecked the flag about Wizrobes being shuffled. They are going to be relegated to dungeons at all times. As Fred checking Recorder Lake Vanilla and, drainage fee.
Now, here's going to be a big scenario here for Maligord. He's about to use that key. We know it's not going to work. He's going to waste away that key and find out that he's got another key door in front of him.
Yep, you have to have 2 keys to get started here in level 1. So, yeah, Maligord's going to see the really bad news here. And by the way, that spot where Maligord didn't check is a bust. There is no recorder spot there this time. And Maligord sees the really bad news, and he'll go ahead and continue. So he's going to have to find another key elsewhere if he wants that red ring. I was going to say, Fred heading back towards level 2, he was thinking about it, but he's now going to do some Death Mountain exploration.
Well, it makes sense. He knows he hasn't found all the levels yet. He hasn't found level 4. Obviously, we have. Hasn't found level 7, which neither runner has found level 7 at this point. So it's got to be coming up at some point where we do find either of those levels. And Death Mountain may be one of the better spots for him to check at this stage.
Absolutely. It's definitely a hot spot to check here, and he'll bomb here. Is there level 7? No. We have another blue ring shot. Nothing doing there for Fred. Looks like Maligord might be following in his footsteps.
Now, Maligord at this point was hoping that he's not going to find any of these door repair messages because he could really use another chance of getting some or a key at this point, because he knows that level 1 at least could be accessible. Unfortunately, not to be the case here.
Good news,
he will get a 50 rupee secret coming up in just a moment if he does go the right direction, which is the left direction.
That's absolutely correct. Yep, that's what I was going to mention, is that the good news for Maligord is he will find a large secret, and that would give him enough for... hint shop for Fred, but he does not have the book.
But a certain Maligord does.
Yep. But will he spend his money? Hints.
Well, I don't know. He finds out that he can't get a bomb chance anymore. And so how Maligord plays out the next screen here. If he screen scrolls, then he's going to be able to get into the bomb shop. But I don't know if he wants to spend his last bomb in this capacity, knowing that that's his last bomb, and it might be better for him to try to force it. This is a nice screen to try to get some bombs on.
That's a push block. That's
Yes,
not where
it
level
is.
7 is.
There it
is!
We found it. There it is.
So, the raft not required to beat this seed today.
And he is going to get into this cave here. May
Decision
he purchase
time.
that 12? Manhandla has the heart container, which is old news to us, but it's new news to Maligord.
And he's going to save the rest of his money, and I like this play here, Rick. He wants to save his money to get another key or some other accessory, so the fact that he only purchased the 12 rupee hit, I like this move.
There's bombs for Maligord. Fred trying to kill off this rope to get himself into this staircase. It turns out to be another one of the several transport staircases that are in level 7 in second quest. Here is a fake out.
Good old red herring there, Rick. Now, level 7, there's his counterparts. We see the links.
And remember, Fred does not have the ladder at this point, but he does have the red candle, so he can see what this is going to drop. And it's possible that the room drop is going to come.
Wow!
There it is, on the top side. Maligord back in this level 1, and he does not have another key, so I don't know what Maligord is thinking at this point.
Maybe he just forgot.
He might be thinking that there's something happening in this room here with the Zolls, or maybe he just forgot he didn't have a key like you just said.
Yep, that's just the thing. You can't do a Kanana key because doesn't that require a shutter door?
That's right, there's no shutter door in that room, so he's kind of lost, unfortunately, with regards to that room. So he will leave, and he'll have to come back in later. There's the heart container in this 7.
I'll get him up to 10 hearts. He's waiting for the red bubbles to move out of the way, but he's cornered.
Yeah, he stood very little chance without the ladder at this point. One good thing to know about level 7 in second quest, there will be no walk-through walls.
That's correct, but there will also be, now I don't know if this comes into play because we're dealing with mixed dungeons, because in the vanilla game, second quest level 7 has 2 mugger rooms. Because I know, Rick, when we do full-blown second quest, you're going to see the 2 mugger rooms in level 7.
The other thing that you see in level 7 is the lack of needing to use a bomb. As normally in the case in level 7 is second quest, all the rooms are connected. If you can't get from one room to the next, that is because the game had kind of forced it, so you have to go in a different direction. So no bomb walls there. So Fred's going to go back into this world 7. He wants to find the item. He knows that he's starting to run out of squares where level 4 is. We know where 4 is. It's power bracelet blocked. He knows the power bracelet is out on the ladder spot there, so he knows that that could come into play, but he hasn't seen the ladder yet.
By the way, Maligord purchased a key. He's down to 4 rupees, and he's hoping this key will get him to that red ring. He doesn't know it's the red ring, but he's going to be delighted to see it.
Well, he'll be happy to get that, at least.
So in World 7, level 7 here, 27 rooms, you have 4 sets of transport staircases, there's one-way staircase, and then the 1 item staircase. So not quite as bad as Second Quest 8, but still pretty bad.
And another push block for Fred. He pushes the block, he finds the item, and it's the wooden boomerang!
All hail!
He's gonna pick it up. And now he can just leave this level 7 behind, say goodnight, Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Fred now has his wallet topped out. Now, that's something I definitely think we weren't going to see tonight, is somebody's wallet topped out at 255.
Hey, Laz. Aquaman waits in the dark woods, in the dead woods.
No kidding! I did not know that.
Did you know that? I mean, it's not like you were in that level to get that information.
I love troll hints like that. No kidding, old man, as Maligord does find his red ring here in level 1, so now his defense is quadrupled. That is definitely going to help him out here. Right now, it is still anybody's game at this point.
Yeah. One major thing is that Fred does have that permanent weapon of the red candle. You're seeing how that red candle helped him get through this level 1. There are a lot of screens that Maligord wishes that he could bump off here, but because he does not have an adequate weapon, he's kind of left into having to kind of walk around these rooms. So there's no way he's going to try to tackle that room with the blue Lionels. Okay, well, maybe he's going to at least try to bomb them to see that they're going to maybe drop a bomb. Nope, that's it. You're done.
Yeah, I can't blame them. Blue Lionels are in the bomb-dropping group, but unfortunately, they either weren't on the correct globals, or they were on the correct globals in the game set. I ain't giving you a bomb.
So, since it's not clicked on the tracker, we can tell people that the red candle was in level 8.
Yep, and as you can see, we still have plenty of items left on the docket that are very important. We know the raft is
Fred's back in 2.
And this is, in my opinion, is what's going to put Fred back in the lead.
And there's the ladder for Fred. That gets him the power bracelet. He's going to leave, and you're going to see him do the world wrap right now so he can get that power bracelet.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. And that power bracelet, again, we saw, was what unlocks level 4. And with that permanent weapon that Fred has, he's going to have a much better chance of trying to clear this off. But again, remember, it was a key starved dungeon as well, as Maligord's now going to can't even spend a dime for bombs because he's only got a nickel and 2 pennies to his name. Yikes.
Yeah, this is a tough feeling at this point for Maligord. At this, you want to have the rupees in order to make some investments, but the seed isn't providing them to be in a quality spot where you can make such investments. But he is going to try to tackle the red gorilla in order to try to get some rupees. Fred making his way along the coast. He's going to go until level 5. And I believe Fred found himself to be ladder blocked from being able to get this Triforce. Actually, he may think that he's ladder blocked at this point. Or was he really? I'm trying to remember that at this point. Anyways, so Maligord's trying to get a bomb drop. He just got a clock. And clock means that you're at 3 on the global counter, which means you still got to kill 3 more for a chance to get some bombs.
And remember, it's only a chance because I know redcandle.us has the chart of what the percentage chance is, but the odds are still against you that you're going to get that drop.
There's the heart drop. That's 5.
And will Maligord get lucky? Yes, he does. Nice.
That's good right there for Maligord. He's able to get the bombs. Remember, the bombs kept him out of being in level 7, and level 7 did not have a great item in it, but it's still a level that he needs to find.
Oh, absolutely there, Rick. So we'll see if Maligord makes a play for that, but first he's going to check this cave here, and he'll just find another shop that has not really much that he's looking for. He's going to check the arrow mark. That's where the magical sword is in the second quest. Does it push? Yep. See if there's anything of value here for Maligord. It's a blue ring shop. Nothing.
So at the 65-minute mark, as we're closing in on the 65-minute mark, the big advantage for Fred at this point is the fact that he does have that permanent weapon. You know, as I mentioned earlier about the red candle, it's not going to be the greatest permanent weapon, but it is a permanent weapon. It's a lot more than what Maligord has. At some point in time, Maligord's going to have to take his bombs. And remember, he gave up a bomb in the Mugger room.
Yeah, he can only carry up to 7. And we have not seen any bomb upgrade shops either. Of course, Maligord's case, he's out of luck. Fred, on the other end, if he's lucky and stumbles upon a bomb upgrade, he could get up to 6 extra bombs. He could be at 14.
Maligord is back in level 8, and to answer the question regarding Red Candle classified as a permanent weapon, it's because you can use it more than once in a room. The Blue Candle, you can only use it once per room, and then you have to leave the room and come back in to try it again. That's why having the Red Candle is a much better item to have for these runners.
Maligord having to take down that beefy Wizrobe room again. Fred still does not have the book. Remember, the book was in level 6. Fred now just trying to get the Triforce here.
Right now, Maligord is just hoping he can get through this room with the last remaining bomb. There he goes. He gets a bomb drop. That is good. That is really, really good.
Yeah, because remember, in order to get the Red Candle, you have to bomb some more of those orange Wizrobes.
By the way, Laz, Fred needs to get bombs in order to complete this level 5. He cannot get to the Triforce room without them.
Yeah, explosives have been an issue all seed. Well, speaking of issues, Maligord finds one in these blue Wizrobes. He's trying to get to the bombs. He's trying to get through.
What he needs to do there, and he didn't do it. What he needed to do is to leave the room. That would have set up the blue Wizrobes so that he could at least get to the bombs. But unfortunately, he didn't leave the room. They're still in their phasing cycles, and that led to that death.
Just a nasty level 8 here, which tends to be more often than not when it comes to these randomizers. I mean, again, you have 14 rooms that have staircases, 5 sets of transports, 2 one-ways. It's just no fun. Maligord, he's going to try to clear this room. Well, if he does it right, he will be rewarded with that Red Candle, that permanent weapon.
Yep. So there, he wants to get these red Wizrobes set up in the right position. And getting them in the right position means that you can bomb multiple ones at once. Unfortunately, they're all setting themselves up on the right side of the room as opposed to the left side of the room. Maligord's starting to get a little impatient here. And that set up the red Wizrobe so that they decided, no, they're not going to go ahead and set up in the right spot. So we know that he is in the room that has the red candle. He's going to have to get lucky here with his red Wizrobe set up in the right spot. He didn't get exactly what he wanted to do in the first hit there, Lost. He wanted to get it in between them. And right there would have been another great opportunity to get multiple shots on him. There he goes.
Yeah. Yep, it's like that. It's like trying to convert that 9-10 or 7-8 split. You got to get the ball in between the 2 pins, and Maligord didn't get the bomb between the 2 Wizrobes.
You know, I would really love a 9-10 split.
Yeah?
Yeah, those 2 pins are right next to each other. He just misused a bomb. That's going to be hard.
Oh, no.
And he didn't get a bomb drop. Oh, no.
No, I've seen it on TV before. I've actually seen pros leave a 9-10 split before. And when you have a split like that, the 2 pins next to each other, you have to shoot in between the 2 pins to pick it up. And unfortunately, that's going to be all for Maligord. So he was 1 Wizrobe short. Unfortunately, he's going to miss out on that permanent weapon. Fred, though, not having great shakes in level 5 himself. The lack of bombs is killing him as much as it is Maligord.
Yeah, Maligord right now is having some issues. He's going to go back to level 5. He's going to go buy some more bombs. He's going to get his 7 total bombs and go back into this level 8. Because I think Maligord at this point has the idea that level 8 is the answer to his problems. Fred, this is horrible luck for Fred. I have not seen luck this bad in a long time.
I will butt in here, Rick, and say I have seen luck this bad. I think it was that 4-hour seed. I believe it was Redbird Grad who kept going in and out of level 2 to try and farm some bombs off of the blue Octrox, which of course are in the bomb dropping group, and they just absolutely refuse to drop.
At that point in time, your response to the game is 41% my butt.
And the other 59% something else, but we'll move on. I don't think Maligord has his eyes set on level 8 right now. I think he wants to continue his Death Mountain exploration. Or is he going back?
I have no idea at this point. Fred making his 73rd trip here to the blue Lionels, trying to get a bomb drop off them. Enemies that drop bombs can end up being they can drop on the 1, the 6, and the 8 on the global counter. But unfortunately, we're just having such uncanny luck. And look what Maligord's doing. He's actually doing some retry strats by saving his bomb counts to get him back up to the 7.
Excellent move there, and it's a great strategy, especially in a money-starved seed like this, resource-starved. You got to do whatever it takes, and Fred finally getting his bombs in level 5 to continue.
And I know Fred's words right now are, really?
Oh, I was thinking it was... What's that other word that Fred likes to use a lot? God, I've been in his stream so many times, and yet now it's eluded me. There's a word he likes to say a lot when something bad happens. I'm sure somebody in the chat. Yeah, that's the one.
Well, there's poop, and there's also you son of a monkey.
Those are the two. Yep, those are the ones. Yep, that's the one. Yep. Now Maligord stumbled into 7 for the first time. He's got 6 bombs. Son of a monkey. I think that's the other one. Yep. Okay, so Fred now has the map. Now he knows exactly where he's got to be to get his Triforce. Just has to clear these room full of keys, and he'll finally be done with this nightmare of a level 5.
Ooh, Fred gets eaten by a like. This 5 is just not treating him well, whatever.
And I see what Fred was trying to do there. He wanted to clear that room, maybe in the hopes of getting a bomb or a key drop, but unfortunately he went to the IHOP buffet and stuffed his face full of pancakes, and that Gibdo just couldn't take it anymore.
So here comes trip number 853 to go into the staircase for Fred. Unfortunately, this is just... You could tell that this is not a 5 that Fred would like to have as a banner moment.
Yeah, Fred probably wishes he had that other seed back, and I know Maligord wishes the same thing. But it is what it is, and these runners are just going to have to grin and bear it.
75 minutes in, Laz. We have yet to see 2 items that we need to beat this game.
You know what? It would be super rude if both the wand and the bow were a 9. Both. It could be a thing, because we could
Laz?
see, like, the magical... What?
It would be super rude if the wand was a 9 and that Gleeok 1 has the bow.
Now you're thinking evil. Now you're going for the double dip of level 9. I like your thinking there, Rick. Let's see what Maligord's doing. He's going to avoid the Triforce for the time being. Now remember, Fred was able to dig out the item here in level 7, so we'll see if Maligord's able to do so. Remember, the level 7 item is the wooden boomerang, not the most glamorous item. I mean, Maligord may pick it up. We'll see.
Fred is done with this level 5. And if Fred had more than one bomb, I know he would love to throw a bomb or 3 or 7 on that Triforce, but he only has one. He's just around the corner from being able to find level 4, and he's got 2 keys for that level.
You know, speaking of bombs, Rick, you know, I was just thinking about something. We were seeing JSR and Cantaloupe do the BS Zelda game, and you know there's a instance in the game where the game gives you infinite bombs. It'd be cool if Fred would be able to program that in this game.
Well, he does do that God mode every now and then when he's doing testing. I mean, it is a possibility at some point.
Oh, and I just realized something. Dark Falls is absolutely right. To even get to the Triforce room, you have to have the bow. So there, yeah, that's out.
For to get to the Triforce, you need to have the wand, either or. So I guess that theory is out the window. But I still would love to see a wand into bow scenario.
It's just not going to be a level 9 scenario. It could be in here in level 4. Remember that Maligord was key blocked from any further progress, and he didn't have that permanent weapon. Fred's going to have a much better chance of getting through this level 4 and find that item. And if it's the wand or the bow, he's going to be in really good shape.
That would probably put Fred into a favorite position to take this race at that point. Maligord, spending a lot of time in this level 7, wants to find where the item is. And the item isn't too far away from where he starts off.
Oh no! Superman handler today!
And what is the problem with that, Laz?
Well, the problem with that is you can't get a bullseye. You have to get 2 bombs on him to get a bullseye. You have to get 2 good shots to kill a manhandler. That's nasty.
You see, what was the problem with that? That manhandler was just saying to stay out of that room. There was nothing in it.
Well, I get that, but it's still a tough fight. I mean, Fred doesn't know. I mean, we know it because we already saw Maligord in level 4, but it's still a nasty fight.
I mean, Fred just knocked out that manhandler. He went to the room to the right. That manhandler was just trying to tell him to just go away. Just go to a different room.
Right. I get that, Rick. All right, let's move on. There's a heart container for Fred. That'll be number 10 for him. Maligord still trying to find the item here in level 7.
Let's just hope that manhandler isn't blocking anything else in this game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And now Fred has stumbled upon a few more keys here. So Fred definitely has a shot of getting that item here in level 4.
Let's see how Fred goes about this second portion of this level 4. He grabs the compass despite the fact that he just saw the Triforce. Maligord ends up leaving this level 7 at this point. I'm wondering if Maligord is thinking about maybe spending his money on something soon, or maybe he's just trying to get to some Grias to go for some bomb chances, which would be good. I mean, there's back-to-back rooms with these Grias, which is great for bomb chances. And so Fred is going to be able to get to the second part of this level 4. He does have the key, so we are going to get some new information about this level 4 real soon.
Of course, now I don't know if I'm pretty sure second rooms are they in play when it's mixed dungeons?
Yes, they are.
So this potentially could be a push block.
This is a lag room, though.
Yeah, forget Blue Lagoons. We've got the blue mummies rolled up in a lot of Scotch tape kind of room. Duct tape.
Okay, so Maligord is not opting to go and purchase the hints. I was wondering if he was going to think about doing that while he was up here. Unfortunately, now he loses his rupees. Fred pushes the block. It is not.
Oh,
So he's going to have to move on down to this room, which has a standing drop. So this could be a push block room.
that is correct. That is one of 3 different second quest staircase rooms that could potentially have a push block.
It
There's
is.
our item.
And it's our item in level 4. And it's the wrap that we don't need.
Well, that's good news for Maligord. I mean, Fred doesn't know it.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That means raft or bow wand or bow has to be the second item at that level 8.
There's no question about it. Otherwise, Fred has screwed this up big time. We don't want to see that. Do we?
Buckle up, friends. We're in for a wild ride.
Thank God tomorrow's Saturday.
Minor consolation for these runners.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. But this has been another one of those seed refusing to give runners a bone type of seeds. Poverty seed, lack of combat weapons, lack of keys, lack of bombs, lack of everything.
Fred, okay, he was wanting to go one screen over and pick up some bombs before he makes his next destination. I wouldn't be surprised if Fred decides to pick up some bombs real soon.
Now, Fred had to have gotten the Triforce out of 4.
He did. It just has to be marked by our tracker.
Yeah, let's go to level 6 now. This is a level he's already completed, but Fred's not going to be terribly thrilled about what he's going to see in here.
Well, I think he's not going to be totally thrilled, but he's still going to be happy that it's in this early of level 6 to the point that he doesn't have to explore any further. There's the book. He is going to get it because the hints are still in play, and that will tell him a lot more about this scene.
Not to mention that he's got the money to purchase the hints. 161 rupees is plenty, and he's got his game saved, so I would imagine when he finds that hint shop, he'll retry, get his money back, spend the hints on the other shop, retry again, and then he'll have his money. So Fred is starting to pull away.
Yeah, Fred is getting himself a major advantage, and he does recorder right straight to an area that he could go to, but I think he is... I thought he was going to go for the hints. I guess not.
That was a money-making game. Oh, you mean the screen that had the hints?
Yeah, I thought he was going to go for the hints. But I guess not. He's just going back to 8.
Well, 8 is great. Might as well.
So we know, based on everything that we have seen, and I think Fred is deducing this at this point as well, we know that one of the 2 major components has to be here. Either the bow has to be here, or the wand. Because remember, the bunnies, they can be defeatable by way of a wand.
Yep, wand or the bow and arrow are the 2 ways to kill the bunnies, the Pole's voices. And there's the bait block, which we know is not required because we're in the far northern section of the map.
Well, it's a good snack for those world travelers.
It sure is, absolutely. I don't disagree with that moblin there.
There's a much needed key for there, Fred.
I'm going to predict that the any key is a 9 with the magical boomerang.
Well, that is a possibility. Fred, pushing the block, finds out that it is not going to be something that works for him, tries to bomb, and finds out we have reached the end of his ability to move in this level 8, and at 3 hearts, Fred is going to do the wise decision to up and A.
Yep, so now he's going to have to bomb through these rooms. And that's a thing that's going to be really frustrating for both of our runners. I mean, Maligord's already felt just about the full effects. Is Maligord going back now into level 3?
He now has the compass. He knows where the Triforce is in this level. But what he really needs to do is just try to figure out what he needs to do and where to go. We'll find a bomb drop on the floor. We have not seen any bomb upgrades at all.
Nope, not a single one. The Ganon hid them extraordinarily well tonight. We have not seen one in 85 minutes of play so far. So Maligord going to get some much-needed rupees here.
So Fred's going to make his way over towards this section of level A, and he's not too far away from where you need to go in order to get to the Triforce. It's one room to the north of here. You see he's going to try to tackle this room, and once again, this is where having that red candle is at least allowing him to dismantle this room a little bit better than we saw from Maligord. He sees the bombs on the floor. Fred's able to pick him up a little bit easier than we saw.
Oh, and then that blue wizard just rudely guards the door. Oh! Could this
Now,
be where our
Laz,
item is?
remember I gave you grief about Manhandle earlier? I'm sorry.
Oh, so close!
Beautiful.
That was a
kill,
good fight, though. You bet that was a good
Beautiful
kill. He
kill.
nearly had the double bullseye, and it's a red herring! Oh, man. No breaks at all, Rick.
Back to work, Laz.
Yep. I will say, though, that was a very impressive Superman handler killed there from Fred. That's one of the better ones you'll see.
Another stinking Wizrobe room.
Oh,
Filled with
I know.
Festivities. Fred can't take a death here. Remember, deaths are very painful in here, and he's down to a half of a heart, and he's going to leave that room. Hi there, Gliok. How are you doing, buddy?
Out of the frying pan and into the fire, and bad news, Rick. I think we found our dominant enemy, and it's not the Stelphos, I don't think.
Get out of the door! Maligord going back into 4. He does have a key. He's going to get some bad information. Fred taking the death. Whew. Round and around on this merry-go-round. Yes. Where this world stops, who knows?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Zelda Randomizer After Dark. Man, this seed... I don't want to say safely say, but I don't think it's going to be a 4-hour seed, but nonetheless, Rick, this has been an unpleasant seed all the same.
Fred picking up some bombs. Maligord just taking the hit from the mummy. Maligord in this room, and this is where he may not identify this as a push or a push block room. Oh, maybe he's getting it. Will he come back in? No. So he has not identified that as a push block room, which would get him out of this level 4.
In my opinion, I think he's just hoping it's some other room that's going to have it. I don't think he's like skipping it. I think he knows that the bracket room is a push block room. I think he's just trying to explore to get some stuff. Is that to let? No, it's a Triforce room.
Hi, Goma. How you doing, buddy?
We haven't seen those all night. Obviously, that room is not required. They do exist, yes. Man, I don't know what's more evil, or Rick. 6 blue dart nuts guarding a wand, or orange wizrobes that are beefed up that are required to get through this maze known as level 8?
Let's see. At least the Red Wish robes aren't moving around and like to troll themselves by turning in the direction that you laid your bomb, that make them completely useless. But yeah, this is not necessarily what we would call an ideal situation at this point. We put the Dark Nuts above ground this time around, but we kind of left some nice things to below ground too while we're at it.
Yep, Stalfos and Lynels, and more Stalfos and more Lynels. Maligord's going to clear this reverse C room, and he's going to discover the really bad news that is going to be a bust. Unless a key drops, of course.
Well, Fred is
Or
back
bombs.
in this room. Oh, there's a map.
Well, did
Not
drop
necessarily
something.
what you want to see.
No,
So
not at all.
Fred's best chances at this point in time is whether or not this room at least gives him one non-Wizrobe enemy. There we go. Is it going to be a blue Wizrobe dominant enemy? Survey says, oh, that's good news for Fred.
That's really good news for Fred, and it is a push block. Let's see where this takes Fred to.
It's
Another
a
transport.
transport staircase number 83,253 of this level 8. At least it takes you to that. Oh god, that's rude, game. That's a one-way.
Wow! Doesn't look like a one-way, but technically it is. You're right.
That's rude, game.
Oh my goodness gracious. So, back to the drawing board, Fred, and Maligord trying to clear this room in the hopes that he'll be able to push it. Now, he's on the right trail, it's just not the right bracket room.
At least he's recognizing the room as a potential staircase, so that means he'll go back into that room with the keys real soon, I hope. Here's a room. It's a push block. Is this the item?
No!
No! It is not.
And Fred not going to bother checking that, because for all we know, it could be the other one-way staircase in level 8.
Oh my goodness!
Wow! Fred might reconsider his options at this point.
Yeah, I think he's gonna take this staircase now. I think he's gonna head on over to the other side, and I think he's gonna go see what this round goes to now. Oh boy. Well, at least it takes you to the other side of that golem, huh?
Yep, so at least the golem is not required to continue here, but here's another
Single
potential.
block room.
Nice.
Push block. Here we go. Is this the item? No,
No.
It is not.
Wow. Level 8 doing its thing, Rick. Here's another bracket. Oh!
Oh my goodness. Here is a diamond staircase. This is tame compared to what we've seen before. There's the raft for Maligord, who's looking at his notes, and he decides, oh, that's a transport staircase as well. Come on, game.
Wow.
And
And
that's-
Maligord.
And another coma. Are you kidding me, game? This is getting to be old.
Well, we found our seafood restaurant of the seed here.
Oh, walk through wall, but it leads to a room that will not lead to a staircase for Fred. Wow, Fred's.
Yep, and the reason why Maligord decided not to pick up the raft is he knows, based off of everything he's already seen, he knows raft is not required. So that's the
Yeah.
reason why he skipped.
Yeah, it was a case where he knew and I think that's why you saw the pause there from him, was because he was looking at his tracker, seeing, oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have found all the dungeons.
And he's already found the white sword item, so we know the raft is not required.
Oh, is this going to be a magical staircase to get to the other side? I know we've had this already in this tournament the other day with level 8. Could this be another one? Oh, goodness, this is not fun. If you're the runner. It's fun for us. Oh, nice room to come out into.
Wow, a turnstile room. A useless one at that. This is all kinds of evil.
And Fred without any keys as well. Is Maligord going back to level 7? I think the answer is yes.
Yeah. I mean, it makes perfect sense for Maligord, but he's not going to be thrilled about Lord Banana being his prize. But you certainly can't fault him for making the play.
Here, Fred goes down this other staircase. And we find the map on the other side of that key door, so that saves him that key. As he tries to... Hi there, Goba. How you doing, buddy?
Well, he goes through the walkthrough wall. Is this a bomb upgrade? Yes, it is, but look at the price. How many bombs is it going to give him if he decides to purchase? Standard. Well, could have been worse.
And he chooses to upend A, which means he has to do this room with the red whiz robes once again. At this point, getting 4 bombs is a godsend. It could have been 2.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it was a premium price, but yeah, you're absolutely right, because you remember that 4-hour seed, that bomb upgrade was indeed 2 bombs. So yeah, the fact that it's 4 bombs, yeah, I would take that any day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Twice on Sunday?
Isn't that what the expression how the expression goes?
It may be. I don't know.
I'll have to look up where that's from. But anyway, Fred back into level 8. He's getting close to solving this puzzle. I mean, we know that one of the required items most definitely has to be here in World 8.
Maligord finding another transport staircase in this level 7. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Fred try to go in and out of this room.
That's the one-way staircase that takes you to the vertical shoot room, which you can actually push the block, but there's no possible way you can go into that staircase.
Just find a way to go over the blocks, you know. Couldn't we just make this easier for the runners to get there?
Problem is, Link was never good at the triple jump. That was his worst event in school.
He should have taken some lessons from Mario.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's really good with it with his triple jumping. No question about it. Here is Fred.
Nice Triforce room.
Yeah.
You can't avoid that Triforce if you walk straight up. Oh, reverse C with the blue bubbles. It is a push block.
Weird.
Here we go. It's the item. It's the one.
Jackpot for Fred, and he is burning it in disgust while killing the Keese in the process. But Fred now has the magical rod. Ladies and gentlemen, the afterburners are about to be turned on. What I was going to say there, Rick, that Triforce is off-center in that Chevy room.
Yes, I think it's the second quest mechanic there.
Right.
Also, I think maybe a bit more of a defensive thing. We'll have to ask Fred about that, because maybe it was done like that to allow him to get it, regardless of whether or not or to be able to walk past it to get to the wand room.
Yep, so now Fred is going to make the play back into level 1. He'll take down the Gleeok, he'll take down the Pulse Voices, and that means now that the wand is the item, Bo still could be in 9.
Yep, or it could still be in this level 1. We're down to 3 items we haven't seen. That, the magical boomerang, and the any key. And you know Fred is going to go and see if this Gleeok has it first before he tackles these Pulse Voice. Maybe he might soften this room up. There he goes. He takes care of 1, so there's only going to be 2 remaining after he takes care of this Gleeok.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, I'd have to say that Fred's in the catbird seat. Plus, he's going to be dealing with the much more tamer second quest level 9. which only has 46 rooms as opposed to 57. Just 2 sets of transport staircases, 1 one-way staircases, and the 2 item staircases. But Fred right now, he's got a Gleeok to tackle.
Yeah, he's got 10, or rather 9.5 hearts, so this shouldn't be a problem fight Fred, even though it's a 4-headed one. Let's see what this item is. It's the bow!
Ladies and gentlemen, Fred Coughlin, the creator of Zelda Randomizer and Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer, officially in go mode.
And with that being said, here he goes into the room to the bottom right. He will get this final Triforce piece once he clears out this lovely little mixture of Lionels and pancakes. Oh my. So as Fred gets this Triforce out of level 1, before he heads into level 9, Lost Kurtzman, what are we listening for? What are we doing in this level 9? And why? Oh, why are we 100 minutes in?
Well, first, before I mention that, because of the bow being a level 1, we now can confirm that the 2 items in level 9 were the 2 items that I picked. The Any Key and the Magical Boomerang. So,
hurry it up. You got limited time. Hurry up. If he gets to level 9, we're going to shut you up. Go.
All right, going to level 9, he's looking for a single shutter door room. If he full clears that room and it doesn't open, then that's where Zelda is.
Time's up.
Ah, dang it. If he hears a roar, Ganon is 1 room adjacent to where he currently is.
Ooh.
Also, what's up?
Possible? I thought I heard his roar first already, but possible room there to the left. You notice that there's no door, so that's going to be a question mark right there immediately. Whether or not Zelda could be in that room to the left.
Maligord does get his Triforce out of level 7. That's going to be his 6th piece. Kid Devil waits southwest of Skull, so we could throw out that idea.
I don't know if you can throw out that idea. I think that is southwest.
No, that's still southeast, I believe. Rick, maybe it's southwest.
I think that is southwest. That's still a possibility.
Okay. I think you may be right. I think you may be onto something then. So, the 3 old men that have 4 potential hints. We just saw one of them regarding to where Zelda is, or in his case, Ganon, because he's playing as one of Ganon's minions, the Gibdo sprite. The other hints is where Ganon is, or in his case, Zelda, where the silver arrows are, and what is guarding the compass.
Fred, going into this staircase, finds that it is a transport, decides to take it, and that will kick him over towards northeast, and that is that one way.
Yep, the lone one-way in level 9, he has found it. Right now, he's only got 1 key, and finding that Any Key is definitely going to enhance his chances of getting this done fast. He could still pull off a sub 2 hour, which, let me tell you something, 20 minutes ago, I didn't think was possible.
There's Ganon. Oh boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Zelda. 8 hits is what we need. A Zelda hug's going to cost him 1 heart. And there's a fireball to the face. That's Din's fire. Trying to get that stun lock here, but just can't quite do it. 1 more hit to go, and down goes the princess. We've got Royal Jelly. Fred gets the Triforce of Wisdom. All he's got to do is find where Ganon is. And if he's where you think he is, Fred's going to be a winner. Quick.
Yeah. Again. And what he's going to do is he's going to go into this room. He's going to try to tackle this room. Well, let's find out. Now, this room here is also part of the Southwest, because you see WORL. Those are all part of the Western hemisphere of this level.
Absolutely here. So, Fred is hoping that the blue Wizrobe is not the dominant enemy. It's a 50-50 chance, and he's not!
Yeah, I think he knew that based on the previous experience. No, there's not going to be a shutter door, so there's probably a corridor staircase in this room. Oh no, it's one of these kind of rooms. Oh boy. But Fred knows where exactly to go. Is it here? Nope. But he's got to be getting close.
Oh, absolutely. Here, looking for the single shutter door room that now automatically opens. Finds that. That's where Ganon's going to be, and Fred's going to be a winner. There's a bomb hole. Is there a shutter door? No, sir. Oh, shoot.
Even if there was a shutter door, he couldn't get there from here.
No, not at all. So Fred will try a different route now to get to where he needs to be to find Ganon.
Yeah, and what ended up happening here is this room is going to be automatically cleared because of the fact that it's got the traps in there. He's going to try to lay down the bomb, and now he's going to try to see if he can't push his way in. Yes, he can. Is there a shutter door here? Well, there is, but it's to the right, which would be southeast. So he's going to go to the room to the left. Still no shutter door. He's got one key in his arsenal. Keep that in mind. But there's a lot of push walls here. And still no shutter door. So we've got to be coming down to just a few options. This is one of those block rooms, I think.
Another one, back to back. Hey, this is just like vanilla Second Quest 9. Lots of turnstile rooms in a row.
And that would be... There it is, right there. So there's the shutter door that opens up. And Fred is moving on with his win over Maligord.
You know what that means, right, Rick? We have the Battle of Zelda Randomizer creators on tap for the quarterfinals in the winner's bracket. Fred Coughlin, Dig Shake, at it again. It's going to be fun.
And it's going to be a best of 3.
That's right. We're moving on to best of 3. Holy smokes. We're getting into that time already.
It's the most wonderful time of the year when the matches are very important and they become best of 3s. But how about that? And please give some love here to Maligord. Remember, Maligord did offer a redo of this race originally, so give Maligord a lot of love and a lot of respect here as we welcome in the creator and winner of this match, fcoughlin.
Good evening.
Well, it wasn't a 4-hour seed, Fred, but it was frustrating enough. I mean, poverty seed, resources very limited. Finding that bomb upgrade really helped you out at the end there. And just another awful combat seed where the game threw you minimal bone.
Yeah, decided to, to say, okay, the bomb shop's gonna be in that pretty much the last place that I checked on one of the last places I checked on the overworld. And if we found that earlier, maybe that would have made life easier. But with the lack of money, it was gonna be a really tough one anyway. That was painful as an understatement.
So, talk to me about that level 8. You had to go through a bunch of red whiz robes to get the permanent weapon, which was the red candle, and that gave you quite an advantage over Maligord, despite the fact that you left the ladder behind it too. We'll get to that in just a moment. But the red whiz robes that held the candle, the red whiz robes that held the path that gave you the other section of level 8 where everything else was. What was your thoughts about that level 8?
Oh, I absolutely hated it, and especially once I was looking at my map, I'm like, please don't let this be 8, as I'm looking at my tracker, my paper tracker here, and then finding the book in 6 and just wincing in pain, realizing things were going to be bad. As I said, that level 8 was just tough, and I was hoping level 5 to get through there, and then had the lovely case of got a bomb storage perfectly on a keys, got myself past the ferry, got through the room, put a bomb on the blue Lionel. Okay, great. Oh wait, he's got 5 hit points. No problem. I'll just drop a second bomb, and the bubbles surrounded me.
Yeah, that was a really, really tough level 5. As you tried to get bombs for, a good 10 minutes there, wasn't it?
It probably was somewhere around there. I wasn't looking at the timer there. As I said, I wish I'd gone, had a bomb and gone next door, because that's where the bomb shop was. That would have made life so much easier.
That's true. So, Evil Seed, the fact that you needed the wand to get back into level 1, to get the bow, at what point are you looking at that IRC and thinking, oh god, please. It was a late ladder pickup for me. Maligord's got to be close to finishing this thing off.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I was worried the whole time, although I didn't have the window open. I just went with the plan of, I'm just going to race the race I get. Maligord's an incredibly talented player, so if I hit done and he's finished first, then that definitely was meant to for him to win. And if if I happen to get that there, I just had to keep that window closed so I could try to focus, especially with the combat on this seed.
So, with everything being said about this seed, you're now moving on, and I'm going to take it on over to Lost Cards fan for the second part of this interview. It's going to be the Battle of the Creators.
That's right. Once again, it's going to be you and Digshake battling it out here on Zelda Randomizer 1. All boards, no swords this time. You guys very familiar with pairing up against each other in tournaments. So, looking forward to that one?
It's going to be a fun one. I mean, Digshake, yes, he's got the Zelda 2 randomizer, which is incredibly amazing what he's done with that game in the first place. But, it's a really scary matchup there. Besides the fact that he really knows Z1 well in the first place, that's where, at least I noticed him come into the community before he went off and he started working on Z2. He's developed a randomizer. He understands the logic that goes into these things. He understands what's there, probably better than, almost anyone else in the tournament, just from the perspective of having written a randomizer out there. So he is absolutely a dangerous foe, and moving into the evil Elite 8 flags is going to be yet another fun step up. So, I mean, it's going to be a good matchup. It's just everyone better get their popcorn and pizza ready, because you may be enjoying a full-on dinner and matinee afterwards.
Yeah, dinner and 2 movies.
So I do want to step in here and just ask one thing, as we see Maligord finally getting the red candle at an hour 49 in, finally getting to those red Wizrobes. And what ended up happening with Maligord is he got bounced in this level really, really badly by the blue Wizrobes that were guarding those that drop of bombs in the Triforce room.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Anyway, so is there going to be like a friendly wager between you and Digshake coming up in this match coming up?
I don't know yet. I'll have to talk to him about that. Certainly there could be something. At this point, as I said, I wasn't expecting to get past this round, so I hadn't really been, considering exactly what repercussions may occur there, but I could potentially see something. Maybe he and I will have to talk about something here. Stay tuned.
Well, speaking of which, so far this tournament has produced the 2 longest winning times in Zelda Randomizer tournament history. I mean, we had that 4-hour massacre a couple of nights ago, and the way this is shaping up, we were thinking this was going to be another 3-hour seat. I mean, it's just been unbelievable what this game can do, even to the most seasoned runners.
Well, especially as soon as you add the swordless capability in, that just really takes things out. I mean, if you have sword, you can kill the Dongos without blinking. Wizrobes, okay, there can be some configurations where there are royal pains in the rear end, but they, at least can potentially go down. I mean, we've seen the horror story from the Random Percent tournament, I want to say, with 2 back-to-back blue Wizrobe rooms, the second one of which was an NSU room to get to the ladder. So it was, an incredibly tough, some of those flag sets have some incredibly tough combat in them, but at least you have a sword. So even if you run out of bombs, you can at least potentially try to run around stabbing those Wizrobes and kill them, or, orange Wizrobes, blue Wizrobes, what have you. Here, you've got a limited set of bombs. If you can force a bomb, great, but the combat is required can be insane depending on what the level's happening to lay out for you.
Yeah, for sure. And now Maligord back into level 1, but when he full clears this, he's going to realize the really awful news is that you need a better combat weapon in order to complete this level 1 because of the Pulse Voices and the 4-headed Gleeok.
Yeah, it was kind of evil having the bow blocked by the wand as well. So, in level 1 there, so that way you had to come in and do some stabbing with the wand there beforehand. I mean, it made level 9 easier having the bow there, but everything else was kind of crazy.
So I do want to ask one more thing here, and this is just because of what's going on right now in regards to platforms that you've put together, Fred. You got this right now going on with the all boards, no swords. You got Zelda 1 Randomizer going to be finally showcased at Games Done Quick. On top of that, you've got the Super Mario Brothers 3 Randomizer, which one of the semifinals was played earlier that I know Law's Cars fan was on commentary for earlier. We won't spoil who ended up winning that match. In the other semifinal coming up tomorrow. What's your thoughts watching this go on here on the various channels?
It's crazy. I mean, again, 4 years ago at this point, 5 years ago, never would have thought that something like this would happen in terms of seeing, this randomizer explosion in general. I mean, yeah, I've got a couple of them out there, but just seeing all the other randomizers that have taken off over the past few years, it's been insanely cool to watch. And seeing, the level of play on all of these tournaments. I mean, you look at, the Super Mario tournament, again, not spoiling it, but your top 4 there includes Mitch Flower Power, world record holder on the vanilla game, includes Macobra, includes GamerCal, includes Classic Gamer, the 3 of which have, insanely good times in terms of the randomizer. They've taken these things, and on some of those seeds for that game, you're getting times that, I'm lucky to finish the game in twice that amount if I'm playing. So it's just insane to see these communities come together. It's great. It's awesome to see all the fun that people are getting playing these old games.
Yeah, these guys are crazy good. I mean, we've seen times before, I don't know if we've seen them in the tournament or not, but we've seen times that are less than Lack Attack's world record time in this game. That's how insane those times can get in Super Mario 3 Rando.
Yeah, no, I mean, and again, some of that, some of the changes to the overworld map can potentially help things out a bit there, but at the same time, these players are taking advantage of, these things, being able to, on the fly, to be able to figure out strats to get their P speed up and running, to get, full speed level clears, and not even knowing what enemies are coming up next and reacting on the fly. I don't have that reaction time as well. If I had that reaction time, I'd have a sub 30 in the vanilla game here for Z1, and yeah, it's just evil.
Yep, Zelda, how she can be an ice queen at sometimes, but we still love to play it.
Hey man, I still don't know why I keep torturing myself like this, but I enjoy it every time.
Oh, absolutely. It's a fun game, and it's fun seeing this randomizer, and it just keeps getting better and better, and in some cases, sometimes more trollier and trollier.
You bet.
But GG to you. So again, you're moving on against Dig Shake. Elite 8 flags. If you think the flags we've seen so far have been brutal, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh yeah, it's going to be an absolutely fun one out there.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, because not only could we see, the potential of longer seeds, it's now best of 3, so winning once isn't enough. You got to win twice to move on.
And those best of 3s can be really tough, and it's interesting too to watch as you go through a best of 3, seeing the different strategy a runners will go through if they go up 1-0 versus down 1-0. I remember watching part of the finals of the last tournament, which was best of 5, and talking to Redbird Grad, and he and I seem to have very differing opinions as to what to do if you're up game 1-0, if you're down versus you're down in that type of scenario. What do you do to play? So it'll be very interesting to see it play out.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, your strategy changes. Sometimes you got to take more gambles. And, sometimes it works out. It's what you need to do to get back into the match. And sometimes you just get burned by that Gamble-matic 9000.
Exactly. You take your risk, you do the best you can, and you just have to let the cards fall where they fall. Sometimes they'll go your way, sometimes it won't.
Absolutely. So, again, congratulations on your victory tonight. Very well played. Very tough seed, but you did persevere. So, wish you the best of luck in your next race. Rick, any other final thoughts?
I do have one question for you, Fred.
Alrighty.
And this is going to be a question in regards to level 8 and the Triforce room. What was up with that Triforce placement? Is that something that is because of Second Quest mechanics, or because it knew that the wand was on the other side?
That's Second Quest mechanics. Every single level has 4 spots where items can drop. If you were to look at at a map of that level, there's at most 4 different spots where items will drop in the level. You don't think about that, and when you're playing through it. But if you think about vanilla level 1, for example, you got the bottom right side one where you normally get the key in the Wall Master room. You have where the map is in the map room. You've got where the boomerang shows up in the boomerang room, and you've got Aquamentus' spot. Aquamentus in the map, the same spot, the Triforce spot. Duh. So those are the 4 spots that you get, and it turns out level 8, one of the rooms somewhere, and I, of course, off the top of my head, I'm not going to remember exactly where, actually has the item offset 1 square to the left like that for when you pick it up, and it just in this case ended up being that it was easy, happened to be 1 square to the side, so you were able to walk by. If it had been chosen randomly the 1 square further over, you would have been ladder clipping, or if you were playing without glitches, you would have had to come back into the level to go get that wand.
It's kind of
would have been absolutely a nightmare if you had to go back in to get that wand.
Oh yeah, well,
my God, yeah, that is lucky if I've ever seen it, because if that Triforce would have been in the dead center like it normally is in that Chevy room, I think a few words would have come out of people's mouths at that point.
Yeah, that would have been a bit ugly. I mean, again, that room, at least if you have the ability to do glitches, you can ladder clip through the room and at least get around and not have to actually touch the Triforce. But if you don't ladder clip there, you would definitely have had to go through twice. It's definitely one of the more trolly locations. I still think that the trolliest was, I think, again, the Random Percent tournament at one point a few years back, where you actually, if you were not ladder clipping, you had to walk through Zelda's room to get to Zelda, because she was in the tea room, and the only path that was possible required walking through her room, walking out the other side, taking a stair to go down to near the bottom, and then walk over to where she was. So, I think that one's might be a little bit more trolly, but yeah, the Triforce placement here was probably the second closest one, I think, in terms of potential trolliness, had that been one over.
Oh, look at this. Maligord is now 1 room away from the Triforce, but he's going to hope that the Wizrobes are not the dominant enemy, and at least it's the orange ones and not the blue ones.
Yeah, how did you feel about finding out that the Wizrobes were not the dominant enemy in any of the rooms?
Oh, I was absolutely relieved as I went in and out. I mean, I was hoping in a couple of those cases, like, okay, at least don't let this be a blue, or maybe 1 blue. I never, I think, found out exactly how many hit points the blue Wizrobes had, but I didn't mind killing oranges so much, because there was a slim chance, we saw my luck with bombs anyway on that seed, but there was a slim chance that they would drop more bombs. But
look at Maligord here with the clipping here, because he does not want to take a chance of those red bubbles pushing him into that Triforce. I like this move. This is great.
Yeah, I was a little scared about that myself. I just eventually saw a window and bolted for it. But if you were trying to adjust maybe to the side to try to avoid that and they hit you, you can get knocked right into it. So a great move to try to get around that.
Oh, but he goes the wrong way.
Yeah, he was going to go the wrong way when he went to the right-hand side. This is not a surprise at all. It's just unfortunate that it's a shutter door with 2 blues in here.
Oh, no.
That's brutal. But we wouldn't have it any other way, considering how this seed has treated the both of yous. Now he's got to do that Wizrobe room again. Tell you what, I don't know what's more evil, Fred. The fact that you have to do this orange Wizrobe room every time just to make progress, or to kill 6 blue Dark Nuts with limited bombs that are beefed up to pick up a wand.
I'll take the Wizrobes any day.
Yeah.
You just did that, Fred.
Okay, I'll get out of there. I'll get back in there.
Just absolutely a brutal seed. I mean, Maligord was that close to solving the seed right there, but he made... That's another beauty of the randomizer. You make that 1 wrong turn to Albuquerque, your opponent makes the right turn to San Jose, and that's how you flip-flop races.
Yeah, you see it in almost any of these randomizers here. You see correct turns, you see incorrect turns sometimes can decide the game. Whether it's this game deciding, just taking the right turn in a level to get something, whether it's, Mario 3, there's 3 forts. take your pick as to which one has the right key to get through, if it's linked to the past randomizer, which dungeon might have the ice rod in it. And this is where I find it a lot of fun because, there's definitely vanilla skill. Over time, you will definitely see the better players win out, out of 100 games. But any one given game, it's possible for that upset to happen. And, it's like March Madness, and that's the way I view these randomizers. I like to see that March Madness type of play.
Oh, so do I. That's the beauty. One of the things I like to say, and, Mitch Flower Power agreed with me during the interview, Randomizer doesn't care who you are, Fred, because anybody can win at any given race at any time.
Absolutely.
So Maligord, I would imagine, is going to top out his bombs again, and he'll probably try level 8. He's close, folks. He's very close.
Well, thanks again for calling the race, guys. Look forward to watching the playback of it. Again, those of you out there, make sure you follow these two commentators here because, they do an awesome job. They were really kind enough to come back and basically recall the match. So it's great to, again, thank you guys so much for doing that. And look forward to seeing you guys again soon.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it, Fred. And again, best of luck to you in your next race against Dig Shake. So Maligord going back into level 8. He knows where the Triforce is. If he just makes the play to the room of the north, he'll solve this seed, and I can assure you he'll finish fast.
He'll have some words to say about this seed, but he'll finish it off.
Oh, no question he's going to have words about this seed, and he's going to be seeing those orange Wizrobes in his sleep. Oh, I gotta say it, Rick. I don't always get the clock. But when I do, it's after I've killed the last Wizrobe in a room. Stay fighting, my friends. So Maligord's going to have to clear this room again with no bombs to his disposal. Luckily, he's got the red candle, so it'll be a little bit easier. But now he can get those bombs with that red ring if he so wants to play that game, which he's gonna.
Yeah, this makes total sense at this point. He doesn't know that the Wizrobes are not the primary enemy. He knows that he wants to go in that direction, but let's hope he doesn't go make a play for that diamond staircase, because I have a feeling that may be where he's going to go.
And I think we've seen both one-ways, am I not mistaken?
I want to say yes, we have.
Boy, I sure hope that that's not another one-way, because if that's a one-way, oh, man. Now, Maligord, he's going to leave the room, and he's going to see that something else is going to spawn. It's not going to be blue Wizrobes, it's going to be Stalfos and orange Wizrobes instead.
Yeah, this is a much friendlier setup here for Maligord, but it's just a question mark of whether or not he will do this one more time. Yes, he will. Okay, good. So he'll find out that the Stalfos is the primary enemy for this room. So therefore, he's going to be able to finish off this room, get up to the room to the north. Now, what does he do in this room? Does he stay to the north and see what's in that one room? He would be extremely happy if he does.
Yep, now he's going to do that clip again, because again, he doesn't want that Triforce piece. Now, decision time. And he looks like he's going for it. No, yeah.
He is going. Yeah, he is. Okay.
That's what yeah.
Because he sees a staircase in this room. He thinks that this might be the one he's looking for, which is unfortunate.
And You can't
Gives
fault
the clip, at least.
Maligord. You can't fault him for making this play. I mean, it's 50-50. Where does it take him? Oh! And wasn't this a red herring?
Other side of this manhandler. Interesting.
Wasn't this reverse C a non-pushable block?
Yes,
I think that's a
was.
one-way.
You were right.
That's a one-way. That's a one-way. How rude. Oh man, this seed, ladies and gentlemen. Now Maligord sees this room, this diagonal block room, sees as another potential, and we know this ain't it. Maligord going to spend his last key here and find that red bubble room, which will push. And he's going to decide not to take it. But he's going to see that Goma and he's like, uh-oh. Remember, that staircase took him around the Goma. Once again, Maligord seeing that transport staircase, not going to take it, but he's going to see all sorts of riffraff here. He's down to his last half a heart. Now he sees this staircase here and more wizrobes and more everything nasty in this room.
Oh my.
Yep, Stalfos and Moblins and wizrobes, oh my, and bubbles too. So you got a hearty breakfast here. It's not just the breakfast room, you got a very hearty breakfast at that. Ooh, nice clip though. And Maligord sees the seafood part, and this could, well, he's going to keep going. Oh, and zapped as he tries to clip.
Yeah, Red Retro Beam at that point just kind of made it difficult. Down to 2 bombs, so this is not going to be favorable for him to finish that off. But maybe this might put him on the right path once he gets back into level 8.
There's a bomb drop from those 2 bomb drops. Very nice luck there. So he must have gotten the 6 and the 8.
Yes, he did, and I'm not certain where he's going. He may be going to replenish his health first, okay? Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like he is doing. He's going to head on over to the fairy fountain, replenish his health, and then make his way back to 8.
Yes, indeedy. So back to 8.
So while Maligord is making his way back to level 8, Laz Cards fan, what do we got coming up in the All Boards No Swords tournament?
Well, I actually don't know. I'll have to bring it up.
While Laz Cards fan is bringing up that schedule, be sure to follow the runners fcoughlin and Maligord. Once again, this is the second time that these two have ran against each other. The first race got washed out due to some issues on Fred's side. Maligord didn't want to take the victory in those means, so please be sure to give extra love to Maligord.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he easily could have just taking the win for himself right there, but he did the very honorable and good sportsmanship thing to do and offered that rematch there. So here are the races that we have coming up for you tomorrow, or technically later today if you're in the Central Time Zone or in the Eastern Time Zone. We have at 5:15 Eastern, Fury SK versus Panzer Dave. Then, Fried Teeth and King Doll, that's going to be happening at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then, Elendar versus Crystal Saver, whose tournament life is at stake. That's going to be at 10 p.m. Eastern. And I know it's been a couple of weeks ago now, Rick, but I'm still shocked to see Crystal Saver in the bonus bracket.
Why?
I mean, he's a 3-time champion. This is our 5th Zelda Randomizer major tournament that we've had here. He's won 3 of them. He's been in the finals in all 4. So to see him...
But Laz, in the last double elimination bracket, wasn't he bounced down to the lower bracket early? So this shouldn't be a surprise at all.
No, he's emerged through this before. We've seen him get knocked out early in the bracket stages, only to come back, run the table, and win the whole tournament. So he's done it before, but now he's got to prove himself again.
Now let's send Maligord some vibes here. To go north of the Triforce room, because that will get him his wand. He is clearing this room, which gives me the idea that he may be continuing to press on, and I would hope that this means that he is going to go north of the Triforce room as opposed to east of the Triforce room this next go around.
I mean, he has to. I mean, if he looks at his map, he'll notice that square on his level 8 map is not been marked yet. So I think he's figured it out by now, Rick, that he has to go north.
Hopefully he will recognize that at this point.
Because he knows grabbing the Triforce is going to do him absolutely no good. He's blocked from the Triforce in level 1, so he knows that a combat weapon is the second item in level 8.
If only Wizrobes could go down to Candle Flame.
Nope, they can only go down with the sword or in bombs. So unless you have bombs, those wizards like to taunt you, saying, "Nah, nah, 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 you can't touch me." Maligord just has this one Stalfos left to take care of, and he's done with that room. He'll go ahead and push that block.
By the way, both reverse save rooms were fake out or one way, or the second half of a fake one-way staircase.
That is sick.
He's going for it.
Yeah, he is going for it, but he's got to be careful that he doesn't get. He's doing it safe. I like it.
He doesn't realize that he could actually go to the right-hand side and not touch it. So now he's just got to go into this staircase. There is his wand. And he will be probably muttering something about the lines of, "This game could have given this to me about an hour ago and I would be happy."
Yep, but instead, in level 8, the worst level in Second Quest by a long shot, level 7 not far behind, but Maligord, he'll turn on those afterburners because he knows where he's got to go and war.
And it's not necessarily the fact that it's level 8, it's what's in level 8. If this was a Gria set, or you had an easy enemies set, we wouldn't be talking about this being so long. But the fact that it was Wizrobes, and the Wizrobes, at least the red Wizrobes, rolled high, that's what led to the trouble.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen.
Oh, we know the trouble we've seen. We've been watching this for the last 2 hours now.
Oh, I know. It's just been an absolute massacre. Again, not like the massacre we had the other night, but still a trolley seed nonetheless. So Yep, Maligord's going to clear this room full of bunnies, but he's going to grab the Triforce, and with that one room left, you got to believe that Maligord's going to clear that out too. He can't possibly gamble level 9. So now he's just got to clear this room full of Lionels and pancakes, and he's going to save it. There's just one problem. He should have saved one of the Pulse Voices much like Fred did, because that room's going to respawn again, I believe. He's going to be far away enough that's going to. Yes?
You get 6 rooms before something respawns, and he might be pushing it there. Especially if he decides to up Band A.
Right.
Then they definitely will reappear.
Yeah, they're going to reappear. That's more than 6 rooms. But at the very least, he will get his bow, and he can use his bow to take down the bunnies in the second go-round. That is still a funny hint. Aquabet is awaiting in the dead woods. Well, no kidding, old man. We're in the dead woods right now. So with the bow and silver arrows in hand, he'll clear these Pulse Voices, he'll clear the last room, and he will be ready to go into level 9. Remember, level 9, being second quest, is going to be tame, and the any key is going to be there. As you can see, Maligord does not have any keys.
Did Fred, when he entered level 9, didn't he have 0 as well?
I want to say he had 1 key. I'd have to check back at the replay on that, but I want to say that Fred had 1 key.
Well, if he had 1 or 0, and it was regardless of that, it was a low quantity. And it's just like this game did not want to give these guys a great wealth of keys. Maligord out of level 1. He'll head into level 9. I'll try to give you the ability to do the spiel again in 30 seconds or less, but I'm going to have you save your breath, considering the fact that you've been on the air almost all night.
That's right, because I was doing the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer tournament race, which was a very exciting race. Again, not going to spoil the results, but I will tell you that they were 2 highly competitive, very close, intense matches. So please check back on the VOD for that one.
It's the semifinals. You'd have to expect it to be nice and close and entertaining and exciting. Maligord in level 9. Here we go.
Well, I understand that, but stranger things can happen. I mean, all it takes, again, right turns, wrong uses of items, etc., etc. So Maligord in level 9 now.
I'm going to echo what was just said in chat. You are a commentary machine.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it. I'm probably going to have a couple of glasses of chocolate milk when I'm done with this.
Oh, that good
rest
old
my
chocolate
voice.
moo juice. All right.
You bet.
Let's get back on here to Maligord. We know where he needs to go to get to Ganon. It's in the top right corner. In fact, Ganon was 1 room away from where he normally is in second quest level 9.
Hey, you're right about that. And there's the big hint for Maligord, and he now knows which quadrant he needs to be to find Zelda. He's playing as the Link sprite, the conventional Link sprite, so he will try to defeat Ganon, get the Triforce of Power, and rescue the Ice Queen herself, Princess Zelda. But let's be fair, because of the old man spilling the beans, she didn't really do the best of job playing hide-and-seek against Fred this time around. Maligord finding a couple of keys here, so it doesn't look like he's going to be in too bad of shape to complete this level 9. Maligord's going to find the staircase again. This was this was the one-way staircase actually.
But it put him right in the northeast corner.
That's where Ganon's going to be for him, so he's going to be right there.
Goes to this room to the right. He's going to hear the roar.
Yes, indeed. Yep, because he sees that locked door, and he is very close to where he needs to be to fight off against Ganon.
And one more time, Laz.
Here's Ganon. We need 8 hits with that white sword. A high roll driver will cost him 1 heart, and there's 1 hit. Trying to get the stun lock. There's 2. Keeps teleporting to the left, though, but there's 3. Now he teleports to the right. 4. Now he teleports back to the left. Ganon being Ganon. It's doing it again. There's 6. There's a stun lock. Down goes the pig. We've got some crispy bacon. It's time for breakfast. Get that Triforce of Power and rescue that princess.
And knowing that Zelda is in the southwest corner, Maligord will do the up and A just like we saw with Fred. So the question is, when will Maligord be able to get on over towards the room? It's all the way on the far left of this level 9.
Well, I would imagine he's going to clear this room out first. I would imagine that he's probably going to make the same play, the same speculation that Fred made, and check to see if that would indeed be Zelda's room. We know it's not, but it could very well have been. Here we are. Maligord sees that turnstile room. He knows it's not quite the way he needs to go. Nice clip there. That was very impressive. Oh, Patra Wayne. Hello. We hadn't seen that on Fred's side. Fred was able to avoid Patra's.
Yeah, Fred wound up heading to the left and not into this room because he knows that there's not a room to the left of this room, because there's only 2 rooms on the very, very bottom of 2Q9. Maligord just trying to finish this room off, see if it's a drop. Clears off the Patra. It is a staircase, and Maligord will not take it because he wants to stay in this southwest quadrant.
Yep, there's 2 sets of transport staircases, and he's not going to take that one because he wants to find the way to Zelda's room, but he's able to push his way through into the shoot room. And Maligord's saying, "Yikes! I want out!" Except he can't go through because I think that was a one-way.
Well, I don't know if he pushed on it long enough, but either way, he got cursed here, so inverted controls now for Maligord. He wants to get that blue bubble to get him back on, and gonna have to be careful. Do not get blamed. Oh, why?
Oh, he was gonna go to the north, but then he took an arrow to the buttocks.
It wasn't the arrow. It was a Wizbro beam.
It was a beam. Oh, because I saw the Moblin there, and I thought the Moblin fired, but I guess the beam picked them off first.
Yeah, I think he probably still had enough that he could have withstand a Moblin arrow, because he had a half of a heart, but he had maybe 3/4 still of that half heart.
Right, and an arrow would have taken away 1/8 of a heart there. So yeah, that would be right.
Ooh, this is not a fun room when you're trying to avoid red whiz ropes. There we go. He gets it through. Oh shoot, there he is. He's 1 room away from maybe finding that shutter door. I don't know if you could come in from a different direction than from the right. We'll find out when he gets into this room right now, if he decides to go through the door.
What is he waiting for? I wonder if he's throwing in the towel. No,
he's not. There's the shutter door. It's going to open up. And Maligord will finish this race off. Get your GGs into the chat for Maligord finishing this race.
Absolutely. A well-played seed there for Maligord. Again, very difficult seed, and he's going to be seeing those level 8. He's going to be seeing those orange wizards in level 8 in his dreams tonight. It was just a yucky seed for him, but he played very, very well. They both did.
I would not call that a dream.
Yeah, nightmare. It definitely is.
That's the more appropriate word.
Oh, absolutely. He's going to see those in his nightmares, you bet. And with that, we do have Maligord here in the commentator's booth with us. GG, I tell you what, combat aside, which was absolutely brutal considering that Orange Wizrobes didn't go down in one bomb. I thought you played this seed really, really well.
I really appreciate that, but I would have been happy just, making one decision correctly this entire season.
Yeah, about the red candle, I would assume.
I mean, just everything. When I dug one a couple times to try to find that second item. Of course, it was the bow behind the wand. Then digging 8, I could have been out of minutes earlier if I would have just gone north from the Triforce room instead of trying to go right and checking more rooms.
Yeah,
just so many things that I just could have. Hindsight is 2020 and all that.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is that you found a staircase room in that by way of the diamond staircase, the room to the east of the Triforce. If that turned out to be a standard room, you were heading north right from the get-go. This was just a rough seed, and I think what was the big difference maker was the fact that Fred was able to pull out the red candle much sooner than you were able to, and because of that, he did get the the intel that the wand had to be, or the bow had to be in level 8.
Yeah, and I knew that probably an hour ago. Once I went back to 7 and found the boomerang, then I knew that the second item in 8 had to be something, because the Triforce in 1 was blocked. It had to be the wand or the bow in there. So, I kind of had that too. I just couldn't get anything to get there. But did you see the moment when the seed actually broke me?
Yeah. Certainly.
Okay, when did you think it broke me?
In my mind, I think it was when you got tackled by the blue Wizrobes trying to touch the bombs, but you were like a pixel away from getting it.
Oh, that was early. That was just funny. And also, I was laughing a lot during the Ganon fight, because no matter which way I went to try to get the stun lock, he went the other way.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Ganon being Ganon.
The moment that the seed broke me was when I finally battled my way through with the blue candle to the item in 4 just to find it was the not required raft. That was just the moment I'm like, oh my god.
Right, because you looked at your map and then you realized, wait, I don't need this piece of wood. Ugh, man, it was absolutely brutal. And the thing is, you could have had that. You were almost having that red candle sooner, because you were one Wizrobe short, one bomb short of getting that red candle, like much sooner than you could have. And I will say, you did lead quite a bit early in this race, because Fred left the ladder behind in level 2 early.
Yeah, I guess that was a decision that I made right, was bombing up there in level 2. I was about to leave because, the item in 2 is a floor drop. Knew it was first quest, so it was a floor drop, and usually that means combat, but then it was just sitting there, just one room north if you just used a bomb, so I was actually happy there. And I figured I might be ahead, and I was really hoping that coast item was going to be something, but I don't think we needed the power bracelet for anything.
Power bracelet was required to get into 4.
Yeah,
yes,
that was
4, yes. Yeah.
Yep, at start, at the coast, right.
But that led to nothing, as we just talked about, besides the Triforce.
Right, other than the fact that you needed the Triforce out of level 4, the power bracelet was almost useless. Right.
Well, thanks for sticking with this, guys. I'm sorry I didn't put up a better fight, and it took so long. Oh my god, 2.5 hours. I haven't had a 2.5 hour bracket flag seed in a long time. That's just...
Well...
And also, I know splits don't matter in Rando, as many people will tell me, but I had 2 gold splits. So, I mean, like, coming out with 4 Triforce pieces in under 40 minutes, I was feeling kind of good, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, look on the bright side, Maligord. At least it wasn't a 4-hour seed like the massacre a couple of nights ago.
Well, I felt like it might go that far, knowing what I had to do, knowing there was a bunch of Wizrobes blocking something in 8, either the bow or the wand. I felt like it might go that far, but no, the seed wasn't a 4-hour seed. It's just bug. Like you said, if the red Wizrobes, I can talk, if they go down in one bomb, then this is, I mean, for both of us, it's 30 minutes earlier. I mean, Fred will go sub 120. I'll go about 130 in it. That was just brutal.
No, I mean, I know this might have been a close race. I felt that you were in the lead for much of the early goings. I think if they're one bomb orange Wizrobes, there's a chance you might have won this.
I mean, maybe that. I mean, I guess that red candle was pretty accessible, and like you said, I was one short that one time, and then just didn't get back there. So I don't know, maybe, but it is what it is, and poor Fred has to play the Elite 8 flags now.
Yeah, yep. So I guess if it's any consolation, you put off having to play the Elite 8 flags for now because you do go into the bonus bracket now.
I like how you call it a bonus bracket. That's so sweet of you.
Well, I know we call it other things as well. I think some people call it the consolation bracket. You should have heard me that one tournament where I had the major faux pas. There's no footage of it, unfortunately, but and some people might say it's an urban legend. I'll tell you it's not.
I like consolation bracket, although it's not quite accurate because the person that comes out of that bracket can still win the whole tournament. So it's not exactly consolation, but
right.
That's a good neutral.
Absolutely. So, again, I felt you played really well. I mean, beefy Wizrobes aside, I mean, like I said, take that away. I think we have a darn close race. I really do.
Yeah, and I guess the execution was pretty decent. I can take that. I'll bet I had a faster 9 than Fred, because I don't know if you picked up the book, but I had the hint for where she was, and I found Ganon really fast.
Yeah,
taking that staircase.
Yeah, Fred ended up getting the book only because he was still in search of trying to get just anything that didn't have you go back into level 8. But well, that's how the seed ended up going.
I'd say your level 9s were about even, to be honest.
Just give it to me. Come on. Give it to me. Come on.
I think your level 9 was about one room shorter than Fred.
There we go. I'll take it.
Yeah.
GG to you, and
thanks for
best
sticking
of
with
luck
it,
to you in
guys.
the next race.
Thanks, guys.
We've been around here for over 2.5 hours, Laz.
Well, you've been here.
Okay, you've been here for 5+ hours. It's time to get out of here. What do we got coming up tomorrow?
Well, again, tomorrow, for those of you who may have just joined us here, we've got 3 races on the docket. It's Fury SK and Panzer Dave at 5:15 Eastern. Fried Teeth and King Doll at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then Elendar and Saver at 10 p.m. Eastern. All 3 of them are elimination races. Win or go home.
Isn't Anagino's El Soa also tomorrow night?
No, they already raced. They were tonight at 10 Eastern.
But they have game 2 tomorrow night, I believe.
Oh, that's right, because they're in the Elite 8. They started that tonight. So, yeah, that's right. It would be game number 2. Now, I don't know if that's tomorrow night. I'd have to refresh this, but if it is tomorrow night, I haven't seen the time yet.
I believe Adaginos did say in chat that it was tonight tomorrow night, depending on where you are, for 10 o'clock Eastern. Anyways, get out of here. It's time for us to go.
Yep, there it is. I just refreshed it, and sure enough, yep, that's also at 10 p.m. Eastern, same time as the Elendar Saver. So, yep, that'll do it for us here on Speed Gaming. So, on behalf of our runners tonight who put up a really good fight, Fred Coughlin and Maligord, make sure you give them both a follow. For our tracker, Jiggly Saint, and for my commentator partner, Adirondack Rick, for everybody here in our Speed Gaming family of networks, it's LOZ Cards Fan 23 signing off. Have a great night. We will see you again next time.
Good night, everyone.